Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We're here, we're live, and hopefully quite loud for the Sorare deadline. We are rocking our way towards another huge weekend, and we're here for the deadline show live as ever. I am Quinny, and I'm joined by my co-pilot, Harry Trades. Harry, my man, good to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Yeah, big weekend ahead of us, and I just want to add, I'm bloody freezing. I don't know if anyone in the chat's echoing the same vibe, but I'm sure it's pretty cold wherever you are right now. I'm sure there's only a select few countries, isn't there, around this world right now that are somewhat warm. Ours, unfortunately, isn't. But yeah, no, I'm buzzing for it, to be fair. And that's why the hat's been added to the attire today.
It is bloody freezing. Like I walk to the shop and back, and like I can feel like I'm walking through ice air. You know, like you can feel ice particles touching your face as you walk. That's how cold it is up in Glasgow. And I'll be heading actually south. I'll be flying south, Harry boy. I'll be making my St James's Park debut. I'll be going to see Newcastle under the floodlights playing hopeless Man United, which is normally like I wanted to go to this fixture because it's a huge game. And I thought, if I'm going to go to St James's Park, I'd love to see them play somebody where there's going to be like blood and guts and they're really going to go for it. And I know Sunderland's a derby. Sunderland obviously nowhere near Newcastle in terms of the fixture list at the moment. So it had to be Man United. So got that locked and loaded. And I'm giving away free tickets, Harry. And for anyone that's joining us live, you probably know already. But in case you don't, we're giving one away on YouTube. We did a video about the loan prospects that Newcastle might have from Saudi Arabia since the Premier League didn't pass a change of rules or anything like that. So random comment on that video today at the end of this stream will win a ticket to see Newcastle at St James's Park tomorrow, 8 o'clock kickoff at home at Man United in the Premier League. One person, one ticket. On Instagram, the post should be linked, or my Instagram will be linked something in the description of this video. And it's the latest one I've done. One person will win 2 tickets. So bring a pal with you, and all the details about how to enter are on Instagram. You need to follow me and all that good stuff. But again, we'll give that away today on the show at the end once we get to the Sorare deadline itself. So,
that's so true, by the way. Sorry, Howard. I'm not spending money on heating. It's going straight on a new Josh Ethel Super.
So I'll be going there. There'll be a bunch of people joining me. I think Simply Alex is going to the game as well. I've chatted to him earlier in the week. So yeah, there's a bunch of tickets to be won as well. If you want to come, you're in Newcastle anyway, or you can make the game. You want to make the game, get involved in the giveaway, and yeah, take a pal. Or if you went on YouTube, you'll be coming with all the rest of us anyway. And good afternoon to everyone joining us. It is a big weekend, Harry boy. We've got that giveaway. I'm looking forward to it, which is great. But when it comes to Sorare, last game week when we were on the show, we billed it as the biggest game week ever because we had the launch of the Premier League £500,000 winter special, whatever they're calling it, and the new 220, the old 270 back on the table as well as all the usual stuff. And I guess this is like joint the biggest game week ever since it's just the same but 1 week on.
Yeah, and also touching upon obviously last week, I think a lot of people, including myself and maybe yourself, even though we didn't play it per se as far as the Prem comp goes, like I think the scores were like incredibly low to get into those money prizes, by the way. I know there was, probably a select few of really good matchups that weekend. So like, and a couple of the big boys played each other. Man City played Liverpool, blah, 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 blah. So like, there wasn't really like a standout in that sense as far as I could have ran away with it on the leaderboards. But I think I think Federer won some cash with like 4 players. Like, yeah, he didn't even have a striker. Yeah, no, I swear, like the rest scored okay, but like he had 4 players. So like, I just think like, going into this week now, obviously, there might be a few different matchups which we'll get into that might run away. But I think the optimism like could be quite high in the sense like judging off last week, it was quite reasonable to get involved and get into the cash prizes. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that plans out this weekend.
Yeah. It's going to be a spicy one. And for all the Sorare scouts and managers that are joining us for the show today, drop a like on arrival, get comfy. As you know, Sorare own and control the internet. And they're going to know if you're here, and they're going to know if you didn't like the stream. You don't want those random DNPs. And if you do get into the prizes, you don't want that terrible luck. So help us, drop a like, get into the live chat, and let us know. From last week, like Harry's talking about there, we spoke about it with the first Super Cap. After the first game week goes, do people look at it and go, actually, I've not missed out on much, and maybe I could get a wee bit of that this week myself? Let us know in the live chat if you're doing a bit of that. I'm sure we'll have a few polls as well, a wee bit of Frimmers versus Grimmy after last week. And Harry, see, last week, I'm sure it was last week. Yeah, it must have been. I had great pleasure in sending Sean Newsham 2 messages on Friday night. I sent him a message saying Goretzka greater than Kimmich. And then on Saturday, I got to send him a message saying Frimpong greater than Grimaldo. And it was...
I bet he loved that.
The second one, it was like instantly after the second one, he was like, I was waiting.
It was coming. It was programmed. Yeah.
It's like he had it pre-typed, just waiting, boom, ready to go. So yeah, could be one of those game weeks again where the budget ones come out over the big smashers or whatever. But Harry Boy, let's have a look at the matchups indicator, because it is the smasher teams that are reigning supreme at the top of the matchup indicators. A lot of home, and a lot of badges. A lot of teams that actually have cards and a good few stacked clubs there.
Yeah, mate. Like, I think the running theme has been, challengers probably dominated the sort of, let's say, top 10, top 15 recently. But this feels very Champion Europe heavy, which could go either way, couldn't it? Because there's obviously a couple of Premier League clubs in there. So you'd like to think that a lot of those cards potentially go into, obviously, the Prem Winter Comp. But yeah, obviously right at the top, we've got Bayern and Real Madrid, who, just have, incredible fixtures this weekend. The only two with, an above 80% win percentage. So, I think, it's not rocket science to work out that, especially the Real Madrid fixture. I know that's the second one. We'll get into that after Bayern, but that one feels like ridiculous as far as where they are as teams right now in leagues. I know Union Berlin aren't great at all, and their run of form's been dire, but Bayern haven't really been ridiculous recently, have they? I think, wasn't it a 0-0 midweek with Copenhagen? I feel like that was a thing. But yeah, I think I can get us the Bayern Munich starting 11. I know Quinny's busy doing his bits and bobs right now, so I'm coming in as
to be post
as
the
play sharper. No,
I've got it. I can get it.
You got it?
No,
it's fine.
I mean,
it's
on.
Get it. It's on. Okay.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Sorry.
Just remember I don't think I put the Twitter thing on last time. We're actually streaming on Twitter, so I thought, oh yeah, we've done it this week, so I had to go and just make sure it was there. Sorry, but yeah, Bayern looking pretty strong.
Yeah, obviously no Musiala. It's still a big miss. A different sort of player than obviously Thomas Muller. Offers a lot more, I guess, as far as playing against, playing at home specifically against low blocks, potentially, Thomas Muller is probably going to unlock a defense. Well, I don't know. They both have their own sort of traits, don't they? But, they're both good at sort of what they do, but they're very different. And obviously Kane didn't score midweek, I think, wasn't he? He's probably one of the first games in a while that Kane hasn't scored, I believe. So I think he was denied a late penalty from what a couple of my guys told me in Discord. But yeah, I mean, it's as strong as it gets right now for Bayern, with whatever injuries they're carrying. Odds are ridiculous. Over 3xG is obviously a bit mental. And yeah, it could be the Bayern week, which, is, again, state the obvious. But the big hitters are all sort of available. And yeah, there's going to be if we had to guess, how many do we think? Okay, if anyone's getting hundreds here, who is it for you?
Kane is...
pick me three. Kane
is Sané. It has to be. I was just reading the press conference from Tuchel, because we know we get that before we come on the deadline show, which is lovely. And he is on record as saying Tell only really played through solidarity, is the translation. I think we've seen that with our guy in midfield. I think his name is Pavlovic or something. I think he got minutes not too long ago. Similar kind of statement was made. He's praising Goretzka, which we love. He's saying Musiala will get some minutes, maybe, if he's lucky, but he'll be on the bench, certainly. And yeah, he's talking about the importance of, where was I? was just seeing about Sané. We'll start again tomorrow. That's beyond doubt. There won't be too many surprises in the lineup. We have to increase the pace on the pitch. So yeah, bit of Coleman, bit of Sané. And when he was referencing Goretzka as well, by the way, I fancy Goretzka to outscore Kimmich in this one again, because Tuchel's quote is, Goretzka's strength is going box to box, which is what we know and love about Goretzka, is the box-to-box maniac that he is. So if we get a bit of that, crashing into the box to get a wee header or a wee assist or a wee rebound shot or something, it'll be a good one. So I think, yeah, Bayern, Tuchel's pulling no punches with a lot of these comments. Don't think there'll be not too many surprises from the team, is what his words are. I think Alphonso Davies, Andros Mazraoui starting would be a little bit of a surprise from what we've seen this season. I know he's not always been fit, but he does fancy Limer to play all the time. So I'd be surprised if he does opt for Davies that he would be accompanied by Mazraoui as a fullback.
I don't know. You could probably get away with it at home, though, to Union Berlin is probably my only pushback on that. As far as, like, they're probably not going to have to defend too much.
He did see increased pace, didn't he, actually? So if we listen to the manager's words, what I'm saying is
they'll probably want to... What, does he mean like pace of the ball or like pace of players? I don't know.
Talking in relation to Sané playing.
Fair enough. So maybe just, pace of the players. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean...
Go have a gander at them. Rono, Juranovic.
Yeah.
There's a few guys here. It's not a bad defence on pace, really. Like, guys that have played.
Yeah.
Even Gossens is a left forward. He must be cheat codes now. He must be cheat codes.
Not in this team, Quinny. Come on. He should be, but he isn't going to be, is the issue. But I think they had a good result midweek. And when I say good, I mean they drew. Let's have a look. Yeah, they drew 1-1 to Braga away, by the way, which is actually a decent result. But yeah,
look at that. 3-0 loss, 28-AA. He's got the minerals. But you say they're just on stinking form. He's conceding 2 and 3 goals a game.
Kill him, isn't it?
Yeah. No clean sheet bonus. But if they get their act together.
Big if. But I know. Yeah, I don't know. It ain't. I mean, nobody should be going out to buy Robin Gosens right now.
No, especially not this week. But just in general, that's an interesting thing to know.
Year. Yeah, don't wait till next season.
Well, they've just changed manager. They've just changed manager. So
they've got 3 draws in 4. They're not losing as many games as they were, which is a start. And then it's just obviously turning those draws into obviously wins, positive results, which is probably not going to happen away to Bayern, but it might happen in maybe the games to come over this sort of festive period. But Real Madrid is obviously a massive talking point. Big win midweek against Napoli. It was a roller coaster this morning. I was sort of downstairs doing whatever, and I was checking the Ancelotti sort of press conference, and before the press conference, it was like Jude just stopped training after 10 minutes. He's gone inside, like he's injured basically. And then it was like, okay, no, but Jude's definitely going to play now after the press conference. It was like everything that like kind of was happening before the press conference was kind of confirmed after. And yeah, Jude looks fine, even though he didn't really train much today. Lunin is playing, well, set to play, but Kepa is back, if that makes sense. So it looks like next week Kepa's probably going to be the keeper because he is still the number 1 as far as what Ancelotti said. And yeah, the rest sort of takes care of itself. I think he sort of spoke well on Cruz, who I think will probably, could go 100 here without even a decisive potentially. Just as far as passing his way to, 100. But he did mention, Nacho might play instead of Rudiger. He might give Rudiger a rest, who's been incredible this season. And maybe Dani Ceballos comes in. Who's behind Ceballos? Sorry, is it Brahim Diaz?
L1529. Yeah. He is pretty appealing, isn't he?
For sure, 100%. If he does play, even if he doesn't, if he even gets off the bench, I'm sure you'll probably outscore that, to be honest. But if he starts, that could really, really good. Rico Man says the same. Yeah, Ceballos could be Chico for the weekend. Completely agree if obviously he starts. But Granada, obviously Sam Ties boys, Brian Zaragoza up there could give Fran Garcia a run for his money. Actually, I will rephrase that. He will give him a run for his money. Probably the quickest guy in the Liga right now as far as running pace. And I mean, it's Granada. They're struggling right now, and it's not going to get much easier for them at Real Madrid away, is it?
No, definitely not. That's a game you want the Real Madrid team for. And again, the first 2 teams off the chopping block are mad stacks, and then number 3 we come to is Sporting Lisbon. So 3 power teams, very well stacked in the community at home against opposition that you fancy them against quite thoroughly. So it's but this is our first challenger one. So I think Sporting being at home, it's maybe a bit more favourable for them than maybe some of the challenger teams that are not too far behind them here. Maybe Fenerbahce came into that. But let's have a look at Sporting.
So Sporting played last night, right? And I think Coates was rested, let's say. I think he came off the bench. They played Atalanta, I believe, away from home. I'm just trying to remember what the score was. I know they were losing. Let's see. Yeah, they drew 1-1 in the end.
Each. Yeah.
Just having a look if anyone come off injured or anything. Yeah, Trincao came off at halftime. Sorry. Okay, I think it's Ignacio's suspended for this game. Well, actually, maybe he's not. I saw something in a Discord saying he might be. Is he down on that?
He's off.
No, yeah, okay,
No,
yeah. So Ignacio's out. That's big as far as under 23 goes.
Yeah.
I mean the rest sort of takes care of itself. As far as Goncalves, Edwards, and Gyökeres. I think Marcus Edwards actually got into a car accident this week. Quinny, random fact.
Yeah,
I think he's fine.
I'm not sure. It was good to see him, and he came off the bench against Atalanta there. So I was going to say I'm not sure if that was before or after, but I think it was before that game. So it's good to see.
It was. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's good to see he's on his toes and about, which is great. So yeah, what to do with that, Rico, man? I don't know. I think these are cap pieces individually. You're probably going to get the clean sheet here, aren't you? But I don't know who's going to be the big scorer. Really out the team. No Inacio, so you're probably looking at Coates. This Diamande guy came up in conversation with me recently. He's very highly rated. Yeah, he was a new name to me. It's not one I was aware of, but yeah, maybe it's him. You don't really see it with this guy, L1550, or we know what Marita's a bit more like. So I don't know. I think it's maybe cap and you get a better midfield from somewhere else rather than stack them fully.
Maybe I don't think you'll see many full stacks, but I mean, Gyökeres is obviously still scoring goals, and can you find his sort of assister maybe out of Marcus Edwards? Probably Goncalves. I know Ricky just said Goncalves missed 3 big chances missed, but obviously that's not ideal. But at least he's getting into those chances in that sense and getting into those positions, and I'm sure they'll happen again this weekend as far as hopefully converts them. But against weaker opposition, I'm sure there'll be a whole feast of sort of chances for him, and then that sort of brings us on to the second challenger. Or second best challenger match.
Green and white in the hoops. Loving it. So we're away to St Johnstone before Ian jumps in. It should be a good one for Celtic. Last time we had a negative result in Europe. We were then at home to Aberdeen and gave them 6. So we're away to St Johnstone. They've just changed manager recently. I kind of go along with McBride that this is probably the most likely team. I would probably say it's Odenholm or Turnbull. I don't think Bernardo really comes into the picture for this one, but it probably will be Odenholm. He's played like the last 3 or 4 league games on the bounce. So I think that will probably remain the same. The rest of the team kind of picks itself. Pam was available again. Jun, Forrest, Mikey Johnson. That is a kind of 3-way coin toss, but it probably will land at Jun because he's just been, or Yang, whatever we're calling him. That's just been the way it's been. And, St Johnstone, I've got like Graham Carey, is not too bad. Chris Kane's got a soft spot in my heart. He used to play for Dumbarton when he was on loan once upon a time. Stevie May used to be kind of handy, still kind of is, I suppose. And the goalkeeper, I know, is highly rated by a few. So, not an absolute pushover St Johnstone team. I hope to see Celtic score over 3 goals in this game. But if it did finish like 1 or 2-0, it probably wouldn't surprise me either. So, I really don't know how to feel about the game overall. Kyogo is in stinking form at the moment, SO5-wise and IRL. So it's hard to get really excited about going similar to Sporting Lisbon. I don't really feel the power in the Celtic forward line at the moment. Midfield defence, sure, but up front, I don't really see it. And maybe this week Kyogo gets double decisive, but he's not really done that for a long time. It's hard to see it.
Yeah, I watched your game actually against Lazio, the majority of it, 70 minutes in until obviously and unfortunately, conceding and whatever. But you played some good football. I was actually quite, Lazio were knocking on the door for a little while now and again, but I don't know, I thought I was quite impressed with, what you tried to do. But like you said, the front line, is just not really there right now, is it, as far as firing power? I think Kyogo did have a couple of decent efforts, didn't he? He dragged a couple wide maybe, and it was a good game though. You stuck in there with Lazio for a long time. Like you said, you'll probably end up bouncing back in a good fashion this weekend. And like you said, it's just midfield defense is obviously will be seen as stackable. But you're taking a risk on Furuhashi, but he's good for cap. We always say that, don't we, for these lower 15s? Yeah. But it is kind of true. 48, he just needs 1 DA and he's 12 over his cap. He hasn't even taken XP into consideration. So, and obviously Jun, like you said, he actually looked a tidy player. I actually thought he had a decent game. Didn't do too much, but on the ball he just looks tidy, didn't he? And he got a little bit about him. So hopefully he can add those DAs and whatever. And again, very low cap.
Yeah. Cap forwards definitely feels like the play there for sure. And I'm with you all the way on that. Lots of fist bumps coming in. Matt Smith has been very good. The Welsh wizard. Is he a St Johnstone player?
Yeah.
Matt Smith.
I don't mind Matt Smith. Ex-Man City player.
Oh, really? There you go.
Yeah. Oh, was
And
in
then
there.
is Naroki hurt or just back up? So Naroki was badly hurt, so badly hurt he never got registered for the Champions League squad. And Champions League's almost over. He was on the bench about a week or two ago, so I don't think he's fully fit yet. But he's going to need to do, if he manages to displace Scales or Vickers, he'll be doing really well at this stage. I don't think when Naroki was signed, Rodgers or Celtic expected Scales to be Scales. They were expecting to ship him out to Aberdeen when we signed Naroki. When we signed Lagerbielke, that was because we'd let Starfelt go to Celta Vigo. And again, we're still maybe a little bit unsure about Scales. Was it just a good start to the season or, whatever? So Naroki, I think, looks really good. But I say he's got a big job on his hands to get back in the team at the moment. And then we have Liverpool.
Yeah, the first sort of apex winter Premier League matchup, I would say. Well, obviously. But like, there's obviously the goalkeeper situation, which is going to be, throwing stacks out the water in that sense, because like there's just no Alisson, right? A lot of people unfortunately would have, prepped, Liverpool's, defense, at least the goalkeeper, obviously, in Alisson. And, we never really expect goalkeepers to get hurt, do we? Unfortunately, and it's happened. The low cap for Kelleher obviously is massive. Like I've seen a lot of him played midweek in like cap 240s, whatever, 220s, because he obviously scored really well and super low cap. Same again this weekend. I assume is it still going to be that low, if that makes sense? Because he scored like 80. I know that won't actually have an effect, will it? So I guess it doesn't even matter what happened midweek.
Not yet.
But yeah, not yet. Anyway, yeah, for maybe next weekend potentially. But yeah, mate, I mean, a couple of injuries up front. I think Jota's injured, so Diaz probably is nailed on again. Scored last night, and then Darwin comes in. I think Gakpo did well last night, and then the rest sort of takes care of itself. You're going to see Liverpool stacks, aren't you, in this 270? It's just as simple as that. It's going to happen. Trent, whoever, Van Dijk. Like I said, the goalie's the only one that might get thrown around because we don't have Alisson, right? And I doubt it. Mate, depends what level you're playing. Like if you're playing at rare and you've bought a rare Alisson, which is obviously a hefty chunk of money, are you then going to buy a Kelleher as well? Like after the injury news? I don't know if you are, if that makes sense. Maybe some people, are. But I don't know. I think this is a massively good. It's just a great fixture.
Yeah, and looking at all the competitions that are hot to trot this game week, this is the top Premier League fixture, and you've got Curtis Jones in there on L1543, a very 75 capable midfielder. There's no two ways about that. And Luis Diaz, L1539, on top of a goalkeeper defender stack of Matip and Kelleher, a combined 70 whatever. So you could probably get a boss Liverpool 220 out here.
You really could, like stupidly good, right? 31, 39, what's that? 70. Curtis Jones, 113. You've got like nearly over 100 points for then, the two extra players in that sense. You could probably fit a Darwin and then, maybe a Matt. You could literally do a full stack here actually. Yeah,
something like 220. Or obviously the Premier League one, it's 270, so you could maybe get the Soboslai over the Jones or something. Literally. But
I was just seeing though, Quinny, YNWA actually won 220 unique, super rare, and rare midweek. We could obviously look, we don't need to, but he won all three. I guess I could show you here if this decides to work. But I think obviously it's long form, isn't it? So you don't actually win anything yet, but he literally won every single one, or was winning every one. Let's see. He first in rare, first in super, first in
Liverpool
3, which is a bit mental. Yeah.
Literally
what we said, but instead of the middle 3 is going to be a little bit different. But yeah, he's managed to do it in all 3 scarcities, which is some going, by the way, isn't it? Jesus Christ. I know he's got every Liverpool card under the sun, but it's still very decent.
GG's to that guy. And I've got to say, by the way, GG's and thank you to Sorare Info, who became a member of the FC Barcelona Club. So thanks very much, mate. Fist bump. And if you want to become a member, there's a pinned comment in the live chat of YouTube or in the description of wherever you're watching this. On YouTube, we do gallery reviews, lineup builders, all that kind of stuff. It's members only content. It's for you guys, by you guys, all that good stuff. So yeah, thanks very much for the support, mate. Look forward to seeing you on the stream. I think I'll actually be doing a member stream probably later today, because I've not done one this week before the to and fro. And I had a crazy day earlier this week, Harry. I ended up actually back doing real work. Ended up out on the tools for a bit, doing some actual work. So this week has been a bit crazy. I was at Manchester last weekend. We've got Newcastle this weekend. So we'll maybe squeeze a wee bit of members in today. We'll see how it goes. But Sorare info, Boris, my man, fist bump. Thanks a lot for the support. Imagine the rewards if it wasn't long form. I think the rewards would be terrible if it wasn't the long form. It would be like tier 3s
Yeah,
and tier
they would
2s.
be great. But,
Maybe a tier 1 at the rare one, but there wouldn't have been anything star level, certainly, for that level of card, which you would definitely consider a waste, I would think.
100%.
Rangers. Well, we look at Rangers because it's funny. I think we will. We'll look at Rangers because last night they drew 1 each with Aris Limassol, who they were wildly expected to beat, and they've been very quick to come and hammer Celtic with our Champions League campaign that we've had. So it was funny to see a wee green and white team from Cyprus show up and show them what's what. Cantwell was subbed off after 30 minutes. Don't know if it was injury or whatever, really, but the manager did say post-match he was playing in the wrong position or something. So I don't know if he was just out of his depth or whatever it was. But yeah, after the midweek, it looks like there'll be less cards playing. There'll be no Cantwell, there'll be no Lammers. Danilo, Sima, Cifuentes all look to retain their place. Ben Davis has got a few cards in Suter as well. So Rangers at home at St Mirren, they should do well, but St Mirren have been consistently one of the best teams in the league in Scotland this year. They give Celtic a game, they give everyone a game in the league. There's no two ways about it. And it's not a foregone conclusion. One of the main criticisms coming out of the game last night I've seen from some pundit or an ex-player or something is the Rangers fans need to stop getting on the players' backs, and the Rangers fans can be quite unforgiving. They are known for it in that respect. So if St Mirren get an early goal or something goes against them early enough, the crowd could turn. So they're up here on paper. There's not that many cards. I thought I would just rub a wee bit of salt in because they were doing it to us a few days ago. But maybe I would be looking at St Mirren for a wee cheeky one, by the way, if you have the throwaways to make the throwaway, So what we're looking at here, O'Hara on a 51, Tanser on 42. They're both handy players for scores. Maybe the goalkeeper, 47. If he concedes under 3, he could get a decent score out of him for something. Wrong button. And, Leipzig, Harry, at Heidenheim. That feels like a goals galore match if I've ever seen one.
It does, doesn't it? But there is doubts over Xavi Simons' availability. I did see he's in training today, but prior to that, there was a bit of doubt. And obviously, I don't know when this has been updated. So it looks like 11 o'clock. So maybe, I don't know if it's post Xavi Simons news or sort of after, before type of thing. But I know he was training today, it seems. That's obviously one of the big Apex cards in every competition, I guess, specifically under 23 that will be getting used if he's fit, because this is the fixture you want him in, right? Same for Openda. Shagler's been very good as well. And obviously, Lukeba. I think this is a type of game that a David Raum could just pop off and score 100, little assist early on, and then he's just flying then up and down, sort of loads of final third passes in that sense. Even Benjamin Henriks, I know you're a big fan of his, similar to on his side as well. Simakan, ever since I bought him, has seemed to have just not want to score above 50, so I'm sure he'll score 100 today after I don't play him. And then, Baumgartner, like very low L15, if you think he could sort of pop off today, could be an interesting one. Paulson obviously is a lot of experience, less legs these days, but could definitely pop up with something. And then Forsberg as well, who's someone obviously that doesn't play because of Xavi Simons, but could get a chance today. I don't know about the Xavi Simons stuff though, so we'll have to maybe just keep updating that as long as we're live today. Yeah.
And Heidenheim, Nicholas Beste will make the team. I don't think I know anyone else. But XG on this one looks to be 3-1 to Leipzig. I don't think clean sheets are happening in this game. Maybe Leipzig could just about get away with it, but I don't see it. I think 3-1 feels like a good score prediction for a match like this. And got Baumgartner, Forsberg, Paulson, 3 guys there. L15 under 42. Paulson's the most expensive at 41. And each one of them could get 60 plus, no problem at all in a match like this in the front 3 here. Playing Openda in, get a wee easy assist. He just beats a man on the run, or you played in yourself for a typical Leipzig kind of goal or something. But I don't feel Leipzig really get backed on Sorare. Not that I even backed them that much. I've got a few cards, but it's not really a team, is it? It's more like maybe somebody's got a Simakan. Maybe someone has a Xavi Simons.
Yeah.
Maybe you've got Openda from when he was in Belgium or something. It feels more like that kind of play, that kind of club on Sorare, doesn't it?
Yeah, they're individuals rather than stackables, if that makes sense. You're definitely right on that. Feels, I mean, you could argue that the same is, rings true for like a Salzburg, which, we're not getting into right now, but, I know same sort of, they're under the same umbrella, but like, it's a similar thing, isn't it? Like, we just can't really, you couldn't pick 5 players there realistically that like you could definitely trust in. Whereas obviously at a Bayern, you probably could quite easily. So like, yeah, it's interesting how that sort of plays out. Do we go to Mold, sorry, or?
Nah, we're not going to look at Mold, Bromby, Bragantino.
Yeah,
we're just going to patch them because City will be playing this week at home against Tottenham. Now, I went to see City last week, right? And I've been to see City 3 times now. The first 2 times, it was a 0-0 draw, playing Southampton and Sporting Lisbon. And then I went to see them last week playing Liverpool. And what would you know? It was a draw. It was 1 each. At least I seen a goal. At least I seen Haaland get a goal, which was cool. But City this year, like for the 3 times I've seen or whatever, but they do feel a little bit better. They do feel a little bit level uppy, from last time I seen them certainly. And looks like Stones is back in the team now. I thought Akanji was rotten last week, and I think Stones just adds a lot to the squad. No Diaz, so it looks like Guardiola will come in. I've not got him in any teams, so that's good. So he was not on my radar at all. So I think Tottenham. I called it last week, Harry. I think I put a wee clip out somewhere, but I thought Aston Villa may have got him 1 more goal than what they did score. But I knew Villa were going to beat Tottenham. I knew Tottenham just didn't have more than a goal a game in them on current form. That's the way I felt coming into it anyway. And as I look at this team again against Man City, I don't see them scoring more than 1 goal again. If so, I think this could be a really good performance for City cards. I don't think it's going to be a good one for Tottenham.
Oh, mate, I mean, yeah, I actually watched that Villa game, and yeah, you were obviously right with how it sort of planned out, but like I didn't foresee the team like set up how they did as far as Tottenham goes, like back 4 wise. It was just obviously a bit of a shit show. I know they don't have many options, but like they basically had like 4 right backs or four wing backs in defense, and they do here again. Like, and yeah, you can't afford to do that against Haaland. Like, I'm a big Ben Davies fan as a fellow Welshman, but like he just hasn't got the athletic ability to deal with a Haaland. Emerson Royale will probably give him a run for his money, but like it's different. It's chalk and cheese, right? So like, you're just asking a lot. Away to City, even obviously they were home to Villa and they got turned over, right? Even though, let's be fair, Tottenham actually dominated that game for long. First half, they should have been like a couple goals up. Kulusevski's hit the post like first minute. They battered them. Like even Sam Ty admitted, like how in the world have we sort of come in as was it 1-1 at halftime maybe, or was it 2-1? I can't remember, but regardless, obviously, Tottenham weren't where they want to be, and I just can't see how they're going to be anywhere near where they want to be this weekend. This could actually get a little bit embarrassing. And I do like Tottenham. I have a Brennan. I have some good, I have players from this team, but like this could be big, like worryingly big as far as the scoreline goes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Højbjerg, whenever I've seen him play for Ange, he does kind of sit off the ball as like a centre-back kind of presence because he's, a bit of a man mountain. And Lo Celso, good to see him last week. I thought he looked quite tidy in that match, quite strong on the ball. Xhaka-esque, would you say?
a bit quicker as far as like he's just got a lovely left foot, hasn't he? He's not like the quickest player in the world with the ball or anything, but he moves the ball quick and good movement. Never really fulfilled his potential, I would say. And but I love him as a player. I think he's really tidy. Yeah, and I hope he stays in the team for a little while because they need players.
Big time. It looks like they put Kulusevski back out wide as well. Because it looks like last week Kulusevski was a bit more central.
Yeah, he was central, wasn't he? Because did Brian Heel start? Yeah, Brian Heel started one wing. It was Brennan on the other, and then it was Kulu through the middle. I think he did okay. He should have scored that goal. Jesus, it was an open goal basically, and he's obviously at the beans on toast. But like Son was quiet. I can't imagine he's much more lively to in this game because of the opposition. I just worry about the legs. Like if you look at
this, the Man City are just prepared to recover run, aren't they? That's just going to be a race. Walker, Ake, and Guardiola against these 3. That's what it's going to be, isn't it?
Even like looking to deal with that middle 4 or not middle 4, like that midfield 4 of City and then Haaland. Like the back 7 of Spurs just don't have the legs. If I'm being honest, Højbjerg can't run anymore. Yeah. Lo Celso isn't quick. The only one is obviously Basuma can travel very, very quickly, and so can Ndogi. But the rest, okay, Emerson Royale maybe a little bit, Porro a little bit, but like Davis, Lo Celso, Højbjerg, like I think that's going to be exploited big time, just as far as like transitions go and stuff. So yeah.
Julian Alvarez at L1551, John Stones at L1547, probably the pick of the bunch there. For any of the stuff we're chatting about. Fenerbahce at home. Now, Fenerbahce got their asses handed to them and probably
battered.
Well, One of the most surprising Europa games of Thursday night. Was it 3-1 that Nordisland took them to town for? I think
No, it was like 6-1. It was like
Was it 6? What?
Yeah, it was something incredible. Yeah. It was nuts. It might have been more, but I saw it 6-1. Let's have a look.
No way. How do we look, Tadic?
Yeah.
6-1, so it was. Jumping Jimmies.
It was, yeah. How mad
Here
is
we
that,
go.
by the way?
So it was on the Gren. Oh, the Gren.
But then have a look at that Schurdelup, or however you pronounce it. He's on loan from Benfica. He started the game. If you go off that tab, I don't know if he's froze. Sorry. Yeah, the right is it? There he is. Yeah, I think he completed like 8 out of 8 dribbles or something stupid. Like it was like the most in the Champions League like ever or something. Yeah, there is. There's your contest. So like, yeah, he looked really good. Obviously on loan, didn't lose a duel, by the way. That's absolutely mental, like ridiculous for a midfielder. So yeah,
Against
I'm sure he'll be on
Fenerbahce.
a couple of at home, fair enough. But yeah, still against Fenerbahce. But some big scores there, isn't it? For Nordisland. And yeah, man,
this was the most surprising thing for me when I seen it last night. Oh, it was 3-1, I think, when I left the studio or when I was leaving the stream last night. But Carl Joe in goals, I couldn't believe this. He's in. Somebody told me the other guy's injured, so it's only a temporary thing. I got a wee bit excited about it, maybe being a cheap keeper. but I seen this Negren come off the bench. Sartdemir as well. He's starting to play for that
Leverkusen
team.
guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's on the bench. That's cool. They've got a wee bit of a Wonder Kids thing on the go here. Negren, Zidane Sartdemir, Scholderup. What's this Rasmussen guy's story? He's 20. He's got an Ajax card.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man. They've got a wee bit of the Harry Trades about them, don't they?
They do, mate. And this has gone sort of way over my radar, to be honest. I've not really taken any care in looking at what's going on there. Is their season like, what are they as far as seasons go? I know they're playing in the Europa League there or whatever, but like, is their domestic league finishing, or like how is that sort of looking?
I think this is their last weekend. This is our last weekend, and then they come back like February or something.
Got you. Yeah.
So you can wait for that wee dip to come. But it looks like kind of the same team that played against Nordisland. Livakovic, Akayadin.
He was injured for that. Just want
was
to
he?
put that in there. Yeah, I DMP'd out of nowhere. I looked on Twitter. I think McBride was on it and whoever, but yeah, I don't know what happened there. But yeah, similar team. Very similar team.
Need a bit of retribution. And looking at the opposition, I'm not sure there's Samu Saiz. We've seen him floating around some circles before, I'm sure. I don't know anyone else in this team. So, yeah, at home, fair enough. Similar to Celtic, really need to bounce back after that game. I wonder what that does for the group, actually. Let me have a wee peek at that. I wonder if there's see with Celtic, honestly, at the moment, people are raging. Celtic really need to hammer St Johnstone. And I don't expect Fenerbahce's fans will be any different after a humping like that away in Denmark, I should say, rather. So,
100%.
Let's have a look at that. I'll just have a wee peek at the standing just to see. So, the last game is at home at Tirana. And where do Fenerbahce sit in the group? Are they home and hosed yet? No, they're not. Wow, they're joint. Wow. So they're playing Tirana, who are dead and buried. And then the last game of the group is Ludogorets versus Nordisland. Nordisland are on 10. Ludogorets and Fenerbahce are both on 9. So Fenerbahce are going to get to 12. So they should be fine. They need to beat Tirana. But yeah, it's maybe put a wee bit of jeopardy on the banana skin, I suppose. I think a bounce back result's probably on the cards here. Is what I'm driving at. XG is just under 3. Maybe the clean sheet's likely as well.
Yeah, potentially. So I was just looking at that comment from Neil. I don't know who he's on about, to be fair, the 70%. Neil, let us know who you're on about. But yeah, Fenerbahce massively need to bounce back there, don't they?
Yeah, all still in their own hands, says Victor as well. So it's cool to see. And then after Fener, we've got, the Arsenal. They're at home to Wolves. Now, I think Wolves, everyone has got a wee soft spot for them now after the VAR controversy they've been suffering at the hands of. We did a bit of a rivals thing for it last week. That was good crack as well. And Wolves are definitely no pushovers, but this is a good game for Arsenal, isn't it?
Yeah, just come off a massive 6-0 win, wasn't it, midweek? The main guys sort of got involved in that as far as scoring goes. And yeah, front three sort of back in that sense. Jesus looks to be back. Midfield 3 sort of back as well. Odegaard, I think he played midweek as well, but he's sort of back into the Premier League side of things. And yeah, this could be like, just thinking about it there, Quinny, like last week, we didn't really have a clear Premier League winter sort of stack or just a fixture that you'd be like, okay, we're going to see X team at the top. Because everyone basically played everyone. Like it was just, as far as the good teams, we've already gone through Liverpool, who have a good fixture. You have to say Man City have a great fixture, albeit Tottenham at home. And then we've just seen Arsenal. So like, going back to what I said at the start, like, yeah, this could be well, I think it just is going to be a higher scoring, week in that Premier League winter comp. Unless, hopefully you've got one of those three stacks or subset of it, because there's going to be some big scores, as simple as that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like seeing Havertz there, is he maybe the scabby queen, the joker in the pack that, L1540, does he tempt you? Do you take him and then he drops a wee 38 for you?
Yeah. It's bound to happen after his header, isn't it, last week, coming off the bench. But, maybe a bit of confidence in him. He probably needs it. Jesus, though, L15 of 47 is relatively low, isn't it, for like a striker that could definitely score a couple. I know he's not, blessed with goal scoring ability, bless him. But, in a game like this, you can work his nuts off and probably get a couple of goals with Saka and Martinelli sort of helping him do that. So, yeah, big scores I'm expecting for this winter comp this week. Definitely.
Yeah, 3 huge fixtures there, mate. You're right. And then as far as away games go, I think you don't mind PSG playing away. And I don't think you mind them playing away against these kind of teams, when they're playing like Le Havre, Clermont Foot, and these types of teams, bring them on. Home or away, doesn't matter, And the team looks pretty strong again from PSG. But Donnarumma is losing fans every week, isn't he? Don't know.
I know. I mean, like his scores are obviously all over the shop, isn't it? Like if he does keep a clean sheet, he's probably made 7 saves and he's on like 90. Or like, he concedes a couple and he's got an error led to goal. It's just so like the variance is unbelievable. But like if he does hit, he does seem to hit big in that sense, and that's obviously what you want. But yeah, it's just sort of being able to guess and predict when that's going to happen is nuts. But like Sorare Info says, there's impossible to know the Paris lineup. It is becoming pretty tough. I know Genesis, I think, does these lineups. I think he said on Twitter something like, could be time for Mbappe maybe to come into the number 9 role and let him just float around up there and kind of do what he likes, as a 9. I don't know if anything's changed post in press conference, and that's maybe why Goncalo Ramos is up there, for now. But yeah, tough, mate, to really gauge what's going to go on. Like Lee Kang-in's not in there, obviously. So like they've just got, if even Zaya Emery being out, they've still got a decent amount of options to where it does make, tough pickings as far as predictions go. But, your main guys, Dembele's probably going to play. Obviously, Mbappe's in. The back four's relatively settled. I know Mukiele's come in and, Hakimi, Skriniar. Okay, Lucas Hernandez going in at centre-back. I feel like that's... Obviously, Marquinhos is out, isn't he? So that, I guess kind of that's why that's a thing for now. And Ugarte always seems to, play in that pivot role. So like, the majority of it is kind of quite set, isn't it, if we're being honest?
Yeah, I think the better pieces are a wee bit too expensive. But like the likes of Dembele, Hakimi, even in defence, Donnarumma, as far as goalkeepers go, 58 is very expensive. But yeah, maybe we activate like a Mukiele or something. But I think when you look at this game, you're expecting Mbappe is going to get 100. You're probably going to see Dembele get into the 80s. And then the way PSG normally go, there's maybe 2 or 3 guys that get close to that. And it's just who might they be? And like, I own Mukiele, so I'm quite buzzing about him being projected to start, which is great. But I also own Sorare, and I also see Kang-in Lee floating. This team is wildly unpredictable. Like, it's very hard for any of the predictions to come in because even Ramos, Kolo Muani, there's so many. Asensio is back in the picture. He's back fit in Champions League.
Yeah, there's good. So I know the chat's saying it there, but like, there's been a few whispers. Maybe Asensio comes into this, maybe and plays like a false 9 potentially, or coming off the wing. There's definitely options there, like you said, and. Yeah, it's obviously not great for us sort of Sorare players who, have cards in these teams.
Yeah. Fabian Ruiz is always a good pick, but he's bad for so is Vitinha. They're both bad for a random DNP for somebody.
Yeah, you just can't guess when they're going to play, man. It's a very frustrating one.
And then another decent away game. I don't know. Well, let's see where this opponent's sitting like. But Galatasaray, you normally don't mind them away from home because again they're just so dominant. They're playing 16th Pendik, so I think when you play Pendik Spor, you're normally quite happy for Galatasaray. Their team isn't too shabby, but we midget so in midfield here. Sequeira and fullback. So yeah, they're okay. Kinda, maybe. Let's see. But no, actually, if they're playing, Ziyech is going to start this one. That'll be great. Along with Zaha and Icardi. That's real power, isn't it? In that attack line.
Yeah, so it's a great matchup for them, and I only know this because I own the Pendik Sport goalkeeper Kampalat. He's in my road to glory thanks to Germ's donation, and I actually, if you haven't seen Looking Up with Lid, I actually did. I mentioned him on that show because he just feels quite cheap right now for what he is under 23. Let's fucking go. Yeah, Germ's a massive Pendik Sport fan, and but yeah, they lost 4-1 last week away to Istanbul. Besakia, however you pronounce it. So yeah, I do fear for them this week, to be honest. But they do have a decent run of fixtures, I think, after that. But yeah, this is going to be tough for them. It really is.
Talking about cat modes, by the way, again, I think you could. Oh, the goalkeeper's a bit punchy, but you could probably get a really solid like Ziyech at 40, Sergio Oliveira at 39. This Karatas guy, I don't know if he's worth a pick as a defender. Even Nelson, 27. If you think he's capable of a big centre back score, and then you could really pick Icardi. You could throw a Zaha. You could probably fit a wee Sasha Boat. You could probably fit a decent wee Galatasaray team into a few places this week. Obviously not Premier League or anything, but yeah, it could be a good one. But I'm with you, Jerm. I want Pendik Sport to do well as well because I've not got any Galatasaray cards. So let's go Pendik Sport.
Let's go. And then Lille. I think they got a good win midweek. I don't think they were playing much, but they got a good away win. I think it was in Europe. Chevalier played, which some people didn't think he might have got rested or whatever. But yeah, I think who popped off? I think Cabela got a goal actually. Obviously, he's not down there. Yaziki's in to start this as the 10. That's mad, isn't it? No Cabela. That's actually crazy. Jesus.
Well,
but can you do it? You can't have 2 10s.
Peak Yazici, but was phenomenal.
Good player. He was at the Cardiff City Stadium for Turkey literally 2 weeks ago. Came on off the bench. Obviously he scored from the penalty spot, but just pops up. He got no legs if he never really has, but obviously
mad
quality
takers.
On the ball. Yeah, left foot's ridiculous. And yeah, no, he's the type of player that you probably want in your team in games like this because they're just going to be probably a low block in Metz, and he's probably going to just score a 30-yard thunderbolt. Something's going to happen. Similar to that, but yeah, it could be a good under 23 pick for Chevalier and that Lenny Yoro, who I don't know if you've seen the sort of news on him, Quinny, but everyone's after him, and they Real Madrid, Premier League clubs, 18 years old, starting every game as a centre back is obviously big. So nobody cares about Metz.
yeah. That's it. I've seen a lot of hype for him. I linked him to somebody in a wee video recently just because he is maybe a wee bit before this kind of wee mountain of hype came up, but it's it's a prospect, elite guy, maybe play a similar style to Botman. And I've seen a lot of hype building for Zagrova or whatever his name is. I see there's a few Twitter accounts on my timeline anyway. It seems to love him. Yeah. So, this could be good for Leo. Jonathan David might get his 65 points this week.
Oh, maybe. If he's lucky. Couldn't score in the brothel right now.
But hold yourself back for a second there, Harry.
Sorry. Well, I had another one. I was like, I'll just use that one.
You couldn't score on a barrel. Love it. And then we've got Antwerp.
Yeah, who were disappointed, weren't they, against Shakhtar, I think. Lost that game. I think it was 1-0, I believe. Watched the end of it, actually. Very disappointing for them. Veerman came out with a good score. I think he had a clearance off the line, which was handy for him. But, at home to Leuven, who are, without their main keeper right now. Thankfully, Tobe Layson's managed to get a starting spot, which is good for myself on a personal note. But yeah, I'm not someone that will be using him because this is a good matchup for Antwerp, who are probably going to bounce back in good fashion, I would say.
Yeah, they definitely should. It's one of those ones again where they were so excited to get for Champions League, and that group, going into the last game of it, it's still wide open, but they're not involved in it whatsoever. So they'll be gutted. They've played well, man. I think every game I've seen their highlights, they've been in amongst it, similar to Celtic. They've just not got anything for it, which is unfortunate. Leuven, they're always involved in some games. They'll concede some goals and might give a few back as well. But yeah, say Toby Lyson, Pletnicek, there's some heroes in this team. They're not total pushovers, but you think maybe Antwerp, what's the XG saying? 2-1? That feels a bit right to me.
Yeah, just see what Sorare info saying there about Koulibaly. Like I said, I watched a bit of the game. He looked very, very good for. I think he's like 18, 19 from Dortmund, centre half. Looked really, really tidy. And then Veerman's. You just go watch Veerman's highlights, and I mean, there's a reason why Barcelona is sniffing around him. He glides, that kid. He's got something special about him, big time. But yeah, big scoreline I expect there for Antwerp. But yeah, and then Salzburg, who are unfortunately nobody's favourites really these days. A lot of their main guys sort of gone off the boil. Obviously, Soleil probably injured again. I assume Piakowski's come out of nowhere though and sort of back starting, which is L15 is looking really healthy. I mean, the only player right now who's actually become quite usable, or one of the only players, is Oscar Gluch. Like I didn't use him last week. I think he had a goal and assist. Like he's like, as far as DAs go and scoring pretty big, he's the one that's standing out. That Ratikov actually scored last week, I think it was his first goal, maybe, or one of his first goals, keeping Roko Simic out of the team. Susic obviously can definitely hit big. Dedic can as well on the day, but again, there's just not a stack here for you, is there? There's just not. It's as simple as that.
No, maybe this week, but because playing Pellets again, it feels like a really good fixture, doesn't it? As far as the
like 6 in the league,
Salzburg,
like, they're not terrible. Like
I know, but they're called Pellets. Yeah,
I know.
Scott Kennedy in defence, whoever he is, I thought he might be Scottish, but I doubt it. And yeah, I don't think I really know. Samson Tijani, I think he's a Salzburg card originally, so he's maybe a player. But yeah, I think I don't know. It's good to hear about Gluck. But I do think Sucic, Dedic, I do think they're good players. I think if you could get something together here, like maybe there's a wee resurrection at Salzburg. Because again, like what they've been missing is like quality coming into the team again. Piakowski, I know, isn't like world class or anything, right? But he's way better than the Austrian league. I mean, I just think like every time we look at some of these challenger powerhouses, like we mentioned about Zagreb quite a lot, they're a wee bit off the boil. I don't know. I think there's a wee bit of green shoots coming now from Salzburg, where it's like, okay, well, Konate's playing all the time. This guy plays all the time now, and you can start to get a bit of a rhythm with it. Because before it was like every time we looked at this, it was a bloody different team, and you didn't know who was coming and going, and who was good, and who was actually playing. But there's maybe a wee progression there, ever so slightly. But yeah, I wouldn't be buying people for this game, but if you have them, I'd try and play them. It's kind of where I'm going.
Yeah, 100%. And then
Stuttgart's probably next.
Stuttgart, yeah.
We've got a question in the chat. I guess we'll take first, right? It's Brentford. They're playing. We've mentioned the Premier League, right? Probably the biggest game week of the Premier League, 500,000 competition is Brentford at home to Luton. Mark Flecken, one of the favourite goalkeepers here on the channels, L1542, primed and ready to go for this game week. And maybe you want to stack him with a wee Christopher Ayer or a wee Rolisev. They're quite lows as well. And we've got Jensen, which was the question that keeps coming up in the chat. He looks like he's on to start as well here. Mopai comes into the team along with Mbuemo and Wisa. This is much more of an attack in Brentford. They're not going 5 at the back. They're going 4 at the back. And they are not taking Luton lightly, maybe, in the sense of like, we need to go and actually score goals to get the points here. I think Palace maybe slept on them, or somebody drew with Luton in the last week or two. I think it was Palace. I think someone or maybe even lost. Someone kind of slept on them in the last week or two. And I don't think Brentford, I'm been so impressed with over the last 2 years. I just think they're such a good, they deliver. They're a solid Premier League team. They don't really pretend to be something they're not. And every game you see them in, I never really see them get hammered. Like, even if they do get beat on by goals, they don't really get bossed, if you get me. Mm-hmm. So, if they're playing 3 up front, I think they'll have a good plan for it and could score some goals.
Yeah, it's a punchy front 3, to be fair. Mapai with a very nice L15, actually. If you think he's not the most, incredible player in the world, but definitely could score you a goal or two. And that obviously, bumps you up as far as, hitting the caps and whatever on this game. But yeah, I'd expect Mbuemo to really do well in this game, to be fair. He feels like the play, obvious, but he's the main guy, I would say, for this sort of matchup, definitely.
Yeah, strong midfield as well. Janelt, Jensen and Norgard. And I'm a big fan of Pinnock. Ben Mee's obviously solid, and I love a bit of Christopher Ayer, so pretty good. And again, Luton, I think you said it maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, like, don't write them off. They're not total pushovers. Andros Townsend, Ross Barkley. It's kind of the same story again, isn't it? Like, yeah, it's Luton. Like, don't totally write them off. Maybe they get something, but I've got a lot of confidence in this Brentford team for this match. I think they'll get the job done. Saturday 3:00 kickoff as well, if that means anything.
Yeah. I think away, it definitely means something in the sense of, like, Brentford being home is a big factor. I think Luton will definitely pick up most of their points at home. No sort of secret.
Fair.
They've done that against Palace, against Liverpool. Like, I think that's the only thing going for Luton realistically. They got legs in their team. There's definitely a threat, 100%. Obviously, we said Barkley, Townsend, whatever. But yeah, I do fancy Brentford to be a little bit too much for them. And yeah, as far as Neil's question there, I mean, they're just not using a back five, basically. They're just going 4-3-3 and sort of matching what Luton sort of bring to the table, and they're at home. They don't need 5 at the back, do you, at home to Luton? Well, you'd hope not anyway. Otherwise, there's problems, right? So that's basically it. Normally, they go Wissa and Buemo in like a 5-3-2 sort of formation. But yeah, 4-3-3 this weekend, it seems.
Somebody is requested Burnley. But guys, just before we have a quick peek at this, we are doing a giveaway today. We're giving away some tickets to the Newcastle game. Newcastle at home at Man United tomorrow. Jump onto my Instagram right now, at Quinny3001 with an underscore at the end. Can you believe there was another Quinny3001 already on Instagram? But you'll see the competition post there. Get involved. We're giving those tickets away at the end of the stream. And I'm also giving a ticket away to a random comment from the YouTube video we did about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, about the loan prospects that Newcastle might have from Saudi Arabia. We'll be giving away those free tickets to 2 people at the end of the show, guys, as well. But we're at 27 likes, guys. We could get, if we get to 67, I remembered as we were going through this stream, I bought a Ramsdale last week, L150 or whatever. I don't need it anymore. I would quite happily give it away, Harry, but I think we need to at least get to 67 likes, I think. So we're at 27.
I think so.
I think we could. He's not going to play this week, but you are getting him for free, so get the like button out, guys. We've got Burnley playing Trafford and Jordan Bayer, a few wee SO5 heroes for some people, past and present. And the rest of the team, it's just Burnley, isn't it? Couldn't even tell Company was the manager. And then I actually fancy Chef U for this game more than Burnley, to be quite honest with you. I think their midfield is way stronger in terms of having to go and try and control possession, go box to box. I don't fancy McBurney, but I think Archer is probably the best goal scorer. Well, I don't know. Jay Rodriguez is proven at this level. But I like Archer. I like the midfield. And I know Chef have been rubbish this year, right? But see, early season, they did show a bit of something before the wheels kind of fell off them. They had a wee bit of run. So I wouldn't be surprised if Chef got a bit of a surprise result in this one, whatever a surprise is.
A game of set pieces, I think this will be. Definitely for Chef. They're a bit not... I just feel like if Chef are going to do anything in this game, it's going to come from a corner, free kick, whatever that looks like as far as the set piece goes. And then, Burnley will obviously try and play their game in that sense. Company tries to play football, but it's only there's only so much you can do with the players they have. There's some decent players there, like they can change games on their head, but it just obviously hasn't clicked. It has to click this weekend. As simple as that. This is this is the time where 3 points is for both teams, obviously, is absolutely massive. So, Burnley will look to try and get this right and try and play their way. They do. I think Chef will just try and sort of disrupt that and just sort of sneak a little 1-0, 2-1 maybe, 90th minute sort of corner or something, swung in from Norwood onto McBurney's head. Something along those lines I can see being written for them. Yeah.
And I think Sanderberg, a goal against his former team, could it happen? Big 6-pointer game like this. Yeah, could be a sneaky one. Any more requests, guys? Feel free to throw them at us. We're under an hour away to the deadline, where we're going to pull up Stuttgart before we went there. So I think we'll have a look at them. Normally I would dismiss Stuttgart, but they've had a good year. So let's not dismiss them. Let's not be me. Nubel and goals. Zagadou at the back. Milo, who I know is getting a lot of fans, he's in to start as well. Gerassi's back in town. I think he missed a few games along with Undav. So, it's a decent wee Stuttgart team. I think they're, on paper, kind of good value for top 6 this year if they keep this up. And, decent outfit here.
They feel like the Union Berlin of sort of last year, as far as just coming out of nowhere, maybe in that sense. I don't know about the styles of play. I'll be honest. I don't watch enough Bundesliga to give you that sort of analysis. But as far as what they're doing, sort of out of nowhere is kind of remarkable. I know Grassi's been a massive part of that, and like you said, he is back. He's been on the bench the last couple, maybe 1 or 2. Looks like he's sort of integrated back this week end, so that's good. And then Undav apparently has been playing really well for them, obviously on loan from Brighton. They're looking to actually make that permanent, I think. Somebody might be able to correct me in the chat, but yeah, I think they're looking to steal him off off Brighton in that sense. That Angelo Stiller, centre midfielder or CDM, very good under 23 player. Very, very good. Scores incredibly well. Zagadu's back. Yeah, I saw Genesis's tweet actually about Zagadou.
I don't know what that means, but I'm not a fan of Zagadou, so I don't know if this is a funny thing he's saying or a good thing, but I think
no, I think he
Zagadou's
thinks
rotten.
he's like he's back basically. He said it on Twitter a few days ago actually.
Yeah, I don't like him.
I know he struggled with it. I don't know. Nah, I honestly think he's all right, but like he obviously had some big injuries, didn't he? Has had some big injuries, which is halted his progression. But a player that I've actually quite rated. But yeah, I think this is it is obviously a good fixture. Is it a Garassi hat trick again? Like he's obviously been doing from time to time.
No Pavlenka in goals. It's the number 2 goalkeeper playing at the moment, and they do play. So Werder Bremen play back 5, and they want to attack with 2 or 3 guys, right? And that's going to give Stuttgart the pitch, and Garassi is going to get into the box. It's just about chance creation. I think it's probably going to be a good one. And say with no Pavlenka, I think this could be I don't know about a hat trick, but I definitely think he'll be on for double decisive in a game like this. Is my point. They'll be given the pitch, he'll get into the box regular, and the way the seasons went, they've been finding him.
100%. Yeah, good fixture for them, for sure.
The first request we had come in was Hibs, who play in Scotland, as some of you might know. And who do Hibs play this week? They are playing Aberdeen, who had a bit of a miserable time. I don't know if you watched Aberdeen Helsinki at all, Harry. If you haven't caught it, check the highlights at least. It looks like it's a proper flashback game, plastic pitch on the snow, but it looks like a black. See, when I was looking at it, I was like, this just looks like it looks like black and white football I'm watching. It felt pure old. It felt like I was watching like a pure old match. It was weird. So I recommend it. Wasn't a dull match either, by the way. Plenty of action.
Yeah, 2-2. Yeah, I had a couple of decisives. Duke got on the score sheet, I think.
Hey, by the way, We Will Fish here is on loan from Man United, and the Scottish press can chat some shit, excuse my language, right? Well, they were saying Will Fish might get a Man United recall in the January window. So I'm sure it's Man United. Whoever owns them, I'm sure it's Man United.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So maybe watch out for that. That might not be a good thing for your Will Fish, by the way, sitting behind Harry Maguire. Or maybe the new Harry Maguire, who knows. But they've got a decent team here. Levitt, Newell in midfield, Marshall, whatever, let's get his act together. Boyle can be a scorer in this league. And Aberdeen, very good team as well. Clarkson, McGrath, Miofsky, Garteman, Kelly Roos. Don't know who you're backing this game week. It's not a great fixture on the matchup, so it's just a wee request we had. But if you're watching it probably won't be boring.
It won't be boring. No, Aberdeen always seem to be involved in games with goals. I watched them play Rangers last weekend. It's hard for me to get up for watching Aberdeen, even though I own quite a lot of their players, just in the sense like they just play some terrible football, I gotta be honest. It's just like back to front as quick as they can, get up to Miofsky. What can he do? Can he hold it up? Can he get a spin and score? Whatever. I haven't watched Hibs. I like to think they might play a little bit better style of football than Aberdeen at home specifically. So yeah, I'd fancy a home win here, even though I'm an Aberdeen fan by Sorare nature. But yeah, I would probably go with Aberdeen here, just knowing what Aberdeen are like. I'd go with Hibs, knowing what Aberdeen are like. Sorry.
Fair. In terms of the weather, somebody said there's still a pitch inspection to happen. Well, Livingston, who have a plastic pitch, they're playing Ross County. There's maybe some budget options in this, so I'll put it on screen, but the game is in jeopardy if you are going to be backing it. But yeah, look at all those L15s. Lots of cap guys in this team, eh?
Jesus, yeah.
Both of them. So Ross Laidlaw is good for it, but he's good for some 8A. But yeah, the game's in question. I would avoid these cards if you could. We're at the deadline, so I would just avoid it at this stage if you could. We had some more requests coming in as well that were a wee bit more, let's say, exotic. So yeah, we had Bournemouth versus Villa. Now, I was a wee bit interested in this because I watched Villa last night playing Legia. They rotated a wee bit like they normally do for Europa, but they didn't rotate that much. They've not taken it lightly until they're qualified, which I don't know if they're quite there yet, but with one game to go, I think it's all but done because they started the campaign really badly. Away at Legia, I think they lost, for example. So they're going away at Bournemouth, and Bournemouth, I've always not liked Bournemouth, but this year I'm kind of like, okay, Bournemouth are not as bad. They're okay, I guess. They're getting there. They're at home. They've not played midweek, obviously. And Aston Villa are just too good to watch. If you watch them, they're just too good. They score so many goals. They always go attacking. Diaby's living his best life. Jacob Ramsey's back in the team. It's hard to look past Aston Villa, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, to be fair, but Bournemouth are pretty good at home, I would say. As good as they can be, and they've got threats. But yeah, this Villa team is just got a mojo about them right now, haven't they? They're just in sort of flow state, probably is a good way to describe it. They're just getting results. Like, they're just sort of churning things out, when they probably shouldn't need to and probably don't deserve to, in ways like Tottenham away last week and results in Europe. But yeah, everything seems to be going pretty well for them. They're going to have Jacob Ramsey back, I assume, for this. I don't know if is he down to start? Is he down to come off the bench? Okay, so it's him and Zaniolo, fair enough. On that left side, Alex Moreno, by the way, L15 of 0.
Scored last night.
Scored last night, yeah. It's hard to not see a Villa win just with how dominant they are right now. And but Bournemouth are at home, man. I don't know. Things just get tricky sometimes there. Only sometimes. And this could be that time.
I'm going to say 3-1 or 2 each. I don't know. They're the two scores that are bouncing around my head. So I'll say them both.
Feels like there's goals involved, big time.
Yeah. The next request we had was for Benfica, who are away to Morenese. Should be a really good one for Benfica again. Really need to get their season up and running. Really, it doesn't feel like it started for them yet. Di Maria plays. That's normally a good sign for Benfica. Tengsted is getting into the team.
Yeah.
Been waiting for that one for about a year, I think, haven't we?
It's been a while, hasn't it? But obviously, another shocking result, though, for them, wasn't it, midweek? 3-0 up, 3-3. Man sent off, penalty conceded, all that, everything sort of happened that you wouldn't want to happen to a team, and just completely capitulated. Man, this won't be easy. Like, I'm not saying I'm a big Morenese fan and I know what they're all about, but they're 5th in the league. They're no mugs. Anyone in that sort of top 6 in Portugal, do fight as hard as they sort of can, especially against the big guns. And like you said, Di Maria, there's some match winners here. João Mario actually scored 100 midweek. He sort of worked his way back into this side, I think. It's an interesting one. Coachu's back fit as well, but I don't know if he'll start. The
next one, the request we had was Everton. I think they've got a good game now. They don't, Nottingham Forest. It could be good for somebody, I don't know. But Nottingham Forest team. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Morgan Gibbs-White feels a lot of fun. See, whenever I'm looking at like Newcastle and like Villa and West Ham and some of these other teams that are like really trying to push on, I really think one of them should just go and spend big money on Gibbs-White. Like,
they will, and I think
see somebody like
maybe
one of those teams just go and spend them 60 million. Just go get Gibbs-White in. Could add a lot to somebody. The Everton team's here if you want to see it.
Big game for them, isn't it? Massive game for Everton. Definitely winnable, but Forest won't make that easy, won't they, at all? But I don't know. They away from home. Doucouré, I was doing lineup building last night. He seems to pop up with goals away from home for some reason for Everton. So he could be a sneaky one. Calvert-Lewin, Low L15. Obviously, Dwight McNeil, Harrison. It's a decent team. It's actually an okay Premier League team.
Really like Doucouré. I'm a big fan of him. I think he's a good player. I really like Jack Harrison as well. Dwight McNeil, they're tidy, aren't they? They're just, but they've got this thing now where by the points deduction, they've got them against the world, like proper siege mentality, like going right at it. So, let's see how it shapes out if you've got Everton or Nottingham Forest cards. I don't know what you're playing. Now, I got this question last night, Harry, about Martinez Quatra. I scored the goal on the 49th minute, right on the stroke of half-time to make it, I think, 1 each for Fiorentina. And I think they went on to finish the game as victors, I forget. But I had a few questions about Quatra from my own teams and from some other people. What happened? So double sub at halftime, looks tactical, but he's not here. So don't know.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
I don't know. What we do? A wee Twitter search. I think we should do that. Lucas Martinez Quatra. Let's just see what comes up. Latest. No. Nothing.
Let
me look at Fiorentina. Harry, can you take the Play Sharper page again? I'll just have a wee peek at this. Oh, yeah, Leverkusen, Dortmund. There you go,
Yeah,
buddy.
I get Leverkusen, Dortmund.
Have a wee peek
Yeah,
at
it's a
this.
big one, isn't it, this weekend? Leverkusen, Dortmund. Leverkusen obviously at home. Yeah, obviously on a massive win, sort of, unbeaten streak and whatever. And yeah, Dortmund are visiting. I don't know if they're going to have enough, though, in the tank to beat this Leverkusen team, honestly. I just don't see how they get around it, to be honest. Tapsoba's the only sort of semi-doubt, I guess, with Hincapié, which is interesting. That's, who wins that sort of left-sided centre-half battle. But the rest of the team sort of picks itself, doesn't it?
Yeah.
XG is massive. This, again, we always speak about it, but does this feel like a 3-2, 4-3, 5-2 sort of game? Potentially. It very well could, couldn't it? If we're being honest with the talent that is on show. In this sort of game for both sides, realistically, but mainly obviously Leverkusen. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I think it's going to be goals galore, no two ways about it. And yeah, I think Leverkusen, like the rest of the lot of guys for the midweek, Wirtz is still kind of, I don't know if he's kind of 70-30. He's probably going to play, but he's had a wee bang at the weekend gone there, which maybe curtails it a little bit. But again, just looking at that Dortmund team, I just don't see them scoring more than Leverkusen. And I've put a little poll in, guys. We're at 41 likes. We really need to get 67 if I'm going to give away a wee Ramsdale just for the fun of it. But we do have a poll in the live chat at the moment. Frimmers or Grimmy. I always get it tongue twisted up. Who do you think will score more points in this game? I think like Frimpong only just beat Grimaldo last week, right? But generally, like the thought process with this one is like Frimpong is like an open play guy. He's going to get in the box. He's going to be, maybe making attempted assists and all that kind of stuff. And Grimaldo is the set piece guy. You want that direct free kick on the edge of the box. You want a few corners to come in on his side where he's taking them from, where guys get on the end of it. So it's kind of pick your poison in that respect, what you prefer. Definitely seems that set pieces are maybe a wee bit more regular for Leverkusen. And if that is the case, like, I don't know, I don't really see much there that makes me think they'll be able to cope with the likes of, how big is the Leverkusen defence? Is it Tapsoba and Ta and Odilon and all these guys? So they're going to go up for, along with Boniface, of course, they're going to go up for dead balls, and I don't see much in that Dortmund team. So anyway, I think this is going to be a good one for Leverkusen. I'd probably go with something like a 3-2.
Yeah, that feels fair, doesn't it? It definitely feels fair. Yeah, I just can't see how there's not both teams, both halves.
Yeah. I'll grab this back off you, buddy. Because everyone keeps mentioning the DNP keeper that we have for Mainz as well. Now, I'm not as excited about this. Like, he's at home at Freiburg, right? Mainz, Sepp Vandenberg, Anthony Catchy, okay. Edmilson Fernandez, some of those guys are okay, I suppose. But, like, this isn't a great game, Like, Freiburg are in Europe this year. I know they're not doing that great, but when they've got guys like Grifo, Gregorish, they've got a decent team here. I don't know if I'd be going that mad for it. This is only mad valuable if he gets to 60 points, he gets the clean sheet, or he gets high AA. If he brings in 43, you really need the other pieces you've got in the team to have hit 80, 90 for it to have been worthwhile, if you get me. So how likely is he to deliver that? Unsure. So I don't know how excited to be about it.
No, I feel you on that. Freiburg won like 5-0, didn't they, midweek?
Yeah, scored, getting us up to speed with that one.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's that good of a fixture, but it is 0, isn't it? L15 so like, chances are he probably outscores it. But like you said, it could be a big Freiburg win. On the same token.
Hajduk Split have got a good game there at home. Looks to be somewhat a full-strength team here at home at Gorica. This is definitely one of the games I look at for the Croatian teams. I think if you're playing Gorica, you're probably going to score a few. Because they've had some good defender cards on this platform, and that's normally because the defenders have been mad busy, like effective clearances and interceptions and all that kind of stuff. So I don't recognise any of the defenders. One of them does have a good L5, but so the trend does seem to be continuing. Along with Banic in goals, L1566, man, check that out for a budget keeper. But yeah, with the likes of Levaya, Krovinovic, if they're at home, it should be a good game for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Their goalkeeper is in jeopardy as well. They've probably got a better elf. This guy when I did the show with Laird previewing this game week, the Lucic thing, I think he got injured last week, was unknown.
Okay.
This is an L15 keeper you can get excited about because this is maybe a clean sheet happening, so that's a 0 at 60, and then you get your other 4 guys in for basically no cap, or you don't need to worry as much about it. So maybe you need to check on a wee bit of Croatian Twitter. That's all I've got, I'm sorry. But I'd be more excited about that than the Mines one, for example. Even Alex Moreno, I'd probably be more excited about him than that goalkeeper. Just get him in defence.
I tell you who could be interesting is Southampton at home to Cardiff, just for the Championship lot.
Yeah, that's it. I'll get it.
Bazanu and Southampton managed to get a clean sheet midweek at home to Bristol City, which was big for them. And a couple of injuries, though. I think Sulemana came off with a hamstring injury. He's out for the calendar year, apparently. Or, to the end of the season or whatever. End of the year. And then, it's obviously Adozie comes in there then, and you've got, Flynn Downs, Armstrong, Smallbone, or would that be Alcaraz potentially behind him or someone else? I'm not sure. But back four's pretty settled, barring that left back position. Jack Stevens is back fit, which will be a big sort of player for them. I don't know how he sort of gets back in, because Bellis and Bednarek have been decent. David says, any chance Panzu starts for Cardiff? Yeah, it doesn't seem like the manager's having him, to be fair, Dave, to be honest. He's very happy with I rate McGuinness. I think McGuinness is a good defender. And then, his boy Gutas is, the other guy. He's just not going to play. He's the big Greek mountain that Cardiff have right now. So I just can't see how Panzo comes in realistically. He can play on as a right back, I guess. But Perry NG is basically, I think he's our captain. So, I just can't see how he gets in. But, Cardiff are no mugs, but I do think Southampton in the fourth. I think Feder was telling me last night that they've got the biggest unbeaten run right now in Europe, I believe. I think it's 10 games or 10 games in the league. I don't know if the cup counts. If it does, I think it's 11 or something. But they're looking good. And at home, Cardiff lost midweek at home to West Brom. So I don't know. I feel like Southampton could be the sort of championship, one of the championship stacks midweek. This weekend, sorry.
Is the next poll we should do Stuart or Adam?
Potentially, yeah. That would be a fun one. Very sure.
Adam, let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
Stuart Adam.
So Grimaldo won it this week again. I think Grimaldo always wins the poll.
And then
Stuart or Adam
catches wind of it, and then outscores him, hopefully.
Or which? That's what I'm going to call it. Which strong? Which arm?
Ben rocks the double Armstrongs.
Oh, double Armstrongs, getting the guns out.
Tricep,
double guns.
Love it.
We've not done Bellingham versus O'Reilly. I think we should have. We've missed it because we did Real Madrid and Celtic so early. That's my fault, guys. I'm sorry. I'll do it again, but we'll do it in a minute. But we've got the Armstrongs. So Stuart or Adam, whose arm is stronger? I don't know what I should have called that to make it funny, but still trying to work it out. Anything else on the matchups that was really jumping out at? As I kind of went away into request because nothing really looked to be that great in the list. But we've got Midtjylland there. No Laird to be turning. We've not done them. Milan at home at Lecce, I suppose, isn't too bad.
Yeah, Milan. Ajax play NAC away. That's an interesting game. Porto's away to Famalicão. I don't know. I mean, obviously, we've got MLS playoffs still ongoing, which is interesting in some way, I guess. All the sort of, Apex teams are obviously still left. Houston play Los Angeles, which is obviously going to be a big game for them. Then Cincinnati play Columbus Crew. Chelsea Brighton.
Chelsea Brighton, yeah,
it's Premier League related, I guess.
Yeah, have a peek at it, I suppose. If anyone cares about it. Badiashile back in town.
Yeah, to my delight, for sure. Nice to see him back in favour. Hopefully, obviously after Chelsea's disaster, even though he played last week against Newcastle. Thiago Silva with obviously a horrible outing there. And this
no idea.
Team good in a way. Yeah, mate. Well, to be fair, he got a clean sheet last night. Bart, obviously, I didn't play him. He scored 85 points. They won 1-0. Massive, result for them. They've got a couple of suspensions. Dunk's out suspended, so Van Heck probably definitely starts alongside Igor. And then, the front four, I think maybe picks itself potentially, even though Matoma's been pretty poor recently as far as DA's going and what have you, hence the L15. And I don't know, this Chelsea team obviously, got battered last week against Newcastle. They need a big result in this game at home as well, specifically against, a team that are dangerous, obviously, but Caicedo playing against ex-club, a couple of funny things maybe might go on there, maybe a goal. I do fancy Chelsea, I can't lie. I do. I think Brighton might struggle away to Stamford Bridge.
I just don't see any width in this game at all. Like Chelsea 4 centre-backs here, and then you kind of know how they play in midfield.
Yeah.
And then you look at the Brighton team, Milner, I know, is like he can play full-back and stuff like that. And Veltman. So I don't really see, like, the width is going to come from Mitoma and Adringa, maybe Conor Gallagher and Palmer. And Sterling and Jackson are going to be wide and high on shoulders and stuff like that. So it's going to be an interesting kind of possession battle, I think, for, when it isn't getting scooped into space and all that kind of stuff. So, especially for Chelsea, there's not much outlet. It feels like a lot of AA will come into the centre of the pitch for creative output. It's kind of where that leads me.
Yeah, you can't see Disasi. And Colwell, to be fair, does like a little overlap. But Disasi, if he does play, isn't overlapping on that right back. I can just tell you that for free. Maybe Palmer will just have license to sort of roam and not track back effectively in that sense, as much as he'd probably have to if, Gusto was playing or whoever, Reece James, because Disasi isn't obviously a right back, can play there somewhat, but I don't really rate him personally. But I think there's a little injury maybe with Gusto. I think he's like 25% behind Disasi, but hasn't been seen in training was the last I heard. I don't know if there's anything different to that. But 4 centre-backs feels worrisome. If you've got Mitoma running at you, Adringa, like they are smaller, sort of trickier players, and they can be, a bit of a nightmare to deal with if you're a centre-back. You're not really there to be taken on one-on-one per se. You're there to sort of hold up, number 9s and whatever. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for Chelsea. But I do fancy him. I got a weird feeling Chelsea win this. I don't know why. I'm backing Chelsea here.
Oh, yeah, they should do it. They've not had anything to do all week. Brighton have been out at it, in Europa, trying to trudge on. Guys, there's 130 Sorare scouts and managers with us right now, which is great to see. But we've only got 50 likes. I will give away a limited Ramsdale if we can get that to 67, guys.
It's like you don't want it. Like, what are we doing here?
Exactly, man. What's going on? We're also giving away 3 tickets to Newcastle versus Man United tomorrow. 2 of them are on the Instagram competition at Quinny3001 _ at the end. Can you believe there was another Quinny3001 already on Instagram? And we're giving one away on the YouTube channel. You need to go and find the Newcastle video where we looked at the loan prospects that they could take from Saudi Arabia in January, and a random comment will win 1 ticket from that as well. So get involved, guys. We want to give away as much stuff as we possibly can. We're almost at the Sorare deadline. We'll be doing all the giveaway stuff if we're going to give away the Ramsdale. He's not playing this week anyway, so you don't need to worry about the deadline. We'll give that away, everything away after the deadline. We're at 61 likes. We're fast approaching. We need to get up to that 67, and we'll try and lock that in, Harry boy. But I think we're maybe at that point of the stream, Harry boy, where I need to just double check some teams and stuff like that. And you're probably the same. We're just about half an hour away. Can I give you the screen? You can show us what you're doing this week.
Yeah. Let's go on to Sorare and have a little look at what we got going on this week. I'm in a fortunate position right now, like I mentioned to you, Quinny, that I've fallen into five Super playing goalkeepers, which is something that I'm not used to. And I still don't really have the outfielders to accommodate that. So I have the luxury of picking, 2 or 3 of them and trying to utilize them where I can. But unfortunately, they're just going not to waste, but I just can't really utilize them. But 240 was built first this week, Super Rare. I've got a couple of really nice low cap, and in this case, it's Yuito Suzuki. Hopefully, gets the start for Bromby against the semi-pros, like we mentioned on the stream last night. I think his cap is like 32, so that then allows me to bring in Delinga, Cook as my goalkeeper, and then Moran's been on absolute flames. If you didn't know, get to know Andy Moran, the next Irish wonder kid to come out of Brighton after Ferguson. But
mate, do you know, that's one thing. Sorry to interrupt you, Harry, but I listened to you on the So Far So Rare podcast this morning. I can't believe you and John never get into Irish under 23s.
Yeah, I know. We didn't get there. I know. Thinking back at that, yeah, that would have been a really good talking point. He mentioned Troy Parrott. I don't know if you've got to it yet, but somebody asked a comment about like any new faces or whatever. And Troy Parrott has a card now, I think, for Excelsior and obviously Irish. But yeah, we didn't go deeper, which is a bit annoying. Yeah, that would have been fun, to be fair, because yeah, there's a real interesting crop of Irish youngsters coming through. Moran and Ferguson, being at the forefront of that.
Someone's doing some crazy song outside the studio. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, it's done now, isn't
Sorry.
it? But that was
it's still going.
I know. This one's an interesting one. Weird, like my two best Super right now in Beck and Timber, both with tough matchups. Final PSV. We probably should have had a look at that, to be fair, just as a fixture in that sense. Because that's
yeah, still can.
And then, yeah, and I brought in this James Hill, who's on loan from. Why am I going blank? I want to say Newcastle or somebody. I'm completely going blank right now. Bournemouth. No, it's Bournemouth. He's on loan from Bournemouth. Blackburn right now. He was at Hearts, obviously, last season. I got his 1 of 100 last night because why not? It was the cheapest on sort of sale. And yeah, obviously Rodrigo, great matchup. I think Bazanu probably gets the clean sheet. It's just, yeah, can my Super Rares perform there? And then 220, I'm sort of semi-interested in. I put up an okay score last weekend, so I'm hoping I can do something similar this week. Matson at home to Ajax, tough fixture, but got a feeling they might score a couple, so hopefully get involved there. Under 23 rare looks pretty interesting. Cardona's my only player playing tonight. Enzo, Savio, obviously our boy now, Quinny, and then yeah, I'm hoping Oscar Gluch and Costa can get me a cleanie. And then outside of that, it's just a few punts. All-Star Rare Plus, last day in the J League calendar, or last game week of the J League calendar. And Big Yorbe came off the bench away to Sevilla, and he's the man of the moment. He should have probably got a goal, but he got given as an own goal. Well, whatever. Got an assist. They won 3-2, and obviously injuries has meant that he's in the fold now. So he becomes, a part of the gallery again. Again, very low L15. Badia, Shield, wherever he is. Again, not that it matters in under 23, but like super low L15. So I'm kind of blessed right now with a few low L15 players that are kind of coming back into starting 11s and whatever. And yeah, hopefully we can make it a good game week and sort of kick on from there. I do need to make my academy lineups, but that can happen for sure. But yeah, mate, I feel like I'm in a decent position, to be fair. I really do.
Teams are looking good, mate. And how many of them do you reckon are like, when you've made the team, you're like, oh yeah, fancy a bit of that.
Yeah.
That team's good to punch. How many do you feel that with?
I'll be honest. It's 240 super rare. It's under 23 rare. Rare plus is a push just because the super rares have tough games, but they're good enough players to maybe come out on top. 1, 2, 3. I'd say, I'll be honest, yeah, maybe only 3. Like I'm like, okay, we're in with a chance. The rest are like, they're just punts at the end of the day, as most lineups are for everyone. But like, yeah, if Cap 240 super rare hits, and I mean, gets a threshold, and I win a card from under 23 rare plus, that's a massive, that's a success for me, 100%. Anything else is like a massive bonus. That's just how I look at it, to be honest.
Nice, love it, mate. Well, I hope those ones bang for you, and I get that whole. You can feel stronger in rare nowadays than you can in rare plus because that cross scarcity element is so intangible. Like how what are you really against, and what have you got? Is it really going to help you? Sorry about the buzzing, guys. I'm trying to mute myself when I'm not talking when it's on, but hopefully they'll be finished whatever the fuck it is I'm doing any second now. But no, man, I feel that. So I've been putting a wee bit more onus and strength with the rares together, keep them together, and just trying to then not worry about a wee bit of that cross scarcity kind of muddying of the waters. So yeah, man, good luck on under 23 rare. I'll be fighting you in that division. I'm there as well. And 240 super, you've got a great team to be doing that with, especially good captain choice. I always feel good with those cap modes when you're like, oh, my captain's cooking, Yeah,
he's like 6 decisives in 4 games. They're playing bottom of the league, Sheffield Wednesday. Okay, it's away from home. I still fancy him to do something. I've had so many variations of that 240 because I really do try and like study as like sort of hard as I can because it's my bread and butter right now. And like there was a few variations. I weren't going to play Cook. I could have played Leschuk, but he's like cap of 65, which is ridiculous for a goalkeeper, but like has the best fixture. So it's a bit like, I needed to compromise a little bit and go a bit lower with Cook, who's like 50s, which then allows me to go a little bit. The forward is that like just going off topic, but like super rare forwards or just forwards in general who like are going to play and kind of score is the hardest thing in the Sorare sphere for me, especially in the cap modes, to try and fit in, for me anyway, a super rare forward that I know is going to play or think I know is going to play, and then like has a good fixture. Those two things have to align, and like if they don't, you're just up against it. It's as simple as that. And like this week, thankfully, Delinga I think's going to play and has my best fixture. I think it's Lorient at home, so that means I play him. If I don't play him, it's like Vitesse and away to to Feyenoord. It's somebody that's like just getting into the team, or Hansen plays at home to Ajax. It's just like I just don't feel that confident in doing so.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I've just on that note, I've just put the Feyenoord PSV teams on screen for anyone who wants to catch them as well. So, yeah, it looks like a good game for the neutral, certainly. For Tesson, great to see him in there for you, mate. Love to see those backup cards coming in. And this is a game where he'll be needing to make a name for himself. He'll be trying his bloody guts out in this one. You've got to think, so it's all to prove. It's all to go for. I like it, man. I can dig it. I did a wee bit of an old school lineup builder myself last night. We've hit the likes target, guys. We'll give away a wee limited Ramsdale today on the stream as well once we get to the deadline. Thanks to everyone that's hit the goal. But guys, could we get it to 88? Could we get it to 88 likes? That's kind of what I'm thinking. We got to 60 really easy there. Could we get to 88? I'm sure we could. If you're listening to the stream, we have an Armstrong poll, which is about to end, and it's went 56% in the favour of Stuart Armstrong, of course. Big Stu Bomb. So he's won that poll, which is good to see. And yeah, we'll be giving that away. So me and Harry, both of us, when you think of a wee question or something to do. But last night I did a little old school stream, Harry. I went and did some old fashioned lineup building and like getting my game week strategy on and doing a bit of stuff with the guys in the live chat, which was good fun. So I didn't really have too many adjustments coming into the deadline stream because I did it so last minute anyway. But seeing Guardiola come in has made me make a little bit of a change with that Quattro being a wee bit sketchy. So I'm going with the big boys and All-Star Super Rare. I'm not playing Celtic as a full stack. I'm managing to break them up, managing to tear myself away from doing that. Because quite simply, there's no other way of putting it, but Kyogo is just a cap 220 player right now, the way he's performing. So yeah. I've got this team in, Harry, for cap 220. It is exactly 220 points. It felt so good when I put it together. And, they're all on to start. Enough of them are at home. Decent games. Let's hope we do well. I finished 120th last week in the Super Cap, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Which is an okay start. So maybe I can get a wee bit of form to build on that with this. I'm quite excited. And Kyogo in there as captain maybe legitimises it as an effort a bit more, But I can't really play him in the All-Star team. I don't see him. He's just not got the form. It's hard to justify. And in 240, if I play him, I can't get a 5-man team out. Like, I just don't have the cap wiggle if I play him. So I have to play. I think he's going to start for Girona, Stuani. Now, I think the projection is Dovbike's at 60%. Dovbike did return to training on Wednesday, but it wasn't full and complete training. So neither of them play 90 minutes anyway. They always sub off for one another anyway. Stuani started the last match. I think Stuani's going to start this one because Dovbike will get the majority of starts. Number one, I don't think you need to rush him back if it's a contusion, like a muscle injury, like kind of dead leg kind of thing. And number two, you're going to be benching this guy anyway at some point. What's the rush? So he's the club captain. He can lead the line for you for 60 minutes anyway. I think he's going to start. He's a really cheap L15 and he allows me to play a real midfield behind him, because I'm not getting many other options for goalkeeper and defence. So that's how I'm kind of tied with Super 240, but I'm getting a really fun team out. Into Champion Super Rare. And we're going to have a wee roll of the dice. We're going to go for it. We've got Skorupski away to Lecce. Really good game for the goalkeeper here. Very AA capable. Maybe gets a clean sheet in a match like this. Starfelt at home to Cadiz. Should be really good as well. Big, powerful centre-back. And in the midfield, we're going proper FC Barcelona and my Sorare club. We've got John McGinn and Captain Blaise Mendes in behind Unique Edward. So as far as that goes, man, Palace have not got a great game. They're away to West Ham. Eze is now injured as well, so that's a wee bit of supply away from Edward maybe. But I fancy myself to have a wee shot at that. Should be good fun. And guys, it is the return of Captain Jota till I die. We believe he's going to start. He started ever since Marcelo Gallardo's come into Al Ittihad, but I had news come to me last night that Benzema is now injured. So it's definitely going to start. There's no way they're not going to play him or do anything like that. His scores so far haven't been that good, but they've all been away from home. So I'm holding a little bit of hope that in the final game of the group at home, that we get a Jota of old. So we've got the captain's armband on him because it's just Captain Jota till I die. There's nothing I can do about that. But a midfield behind him of Was, who's playing the semi-pro, the amateur team or whatever, Matt O'Reilly, and then the defensive powerhouse of Hart and Scales. I think this is a really good all-star outfit. And I say we get a wee bit of Captain Jota till I die back in action, which is great fun. This is me and you, Harry. This is where we're going to be punching it out. I'm going with Trubin in goals. And then it's the Leverkusen base of Frimpong and Wirtz captain, and then double attack, Savio and Take. So I'm buzzing.
It. It's better than mine.
I'm buzzing for it. Crossing my fingers it is, Harry. Hopefully it's only 1 point better. But
I don't know, like the Trubin Costa is very similar. They're both away from home, playing like okay Portuguese teams. Defense, I don't know. Frimpong's way more punchy than Cardona, but like Cardona's like a 70 guaranteed. So like it's just if you know what I'm saying, if Frimpong has an off day, which happened, obviously then that works. Vert is definitely better than Enzo, 100%. And then Savio will obviously sort of stalemate there. And then who's my extra player? I can't even think. Who did I play? I played Oscar Glue, who to be fair is in good form. Is it better than a Kubo? I wouldn't say better, but it's there or thereabouts because Kubo is away from home. But he did rest midweek, didn't he? So I think Kubo could have everything to prove in that sense, just have a good run at things this weekend. So I definitely would prefer to have your team 100%.
Well, let's duke it out, mate. We'll see who comes out on top. 240 rare, we've put a team together that's a team. And in 220, can I not get any other starters when I get to this point? I've got so many guys featured for the bench or injured or something this week, but I'm going to have to play Turnbull in here, who's projected for the bench, but he could get something from the bench, and I'm making him captain. Just going to lean into that whole we're doing or dying on him. Moutinho, Mukiele, Angus Gunn looks to be back in town for Norwich, and John up front. So I don't remember how well I did last week on the thing for rare. I don't think it was great. I think it was like 3,000 or something. It was in amongst something, but it wasn't amazing. So we'll see how that does. And then the final team I've got, I had to make a bit of a change because Quattro we don't really know much about, but we see Guardiola's going to play, and that's good enough for me. So Guardiola's going to come into my Champ Euro rare team. So again, similar to you, Harry, I'm not playing rare plus because the cross scarcity thing just skews up how strong I think I could be. Can't really gauge it that well at the moment. So we're going with All Black. Horrible game, but should be an AA match. It shouldn't really fail to get below 50 unless they get rinsed off a Barca. If it's like 2-1 or 1 each or something like that, you should score well. Guardiola, Bernie, we're getting a wee City stack by accident, which is fun. And then we've got Rodrigo, don't know why I said that weird, up front against Granada, and then I've filled in with Goretzka as the fifth man. I think it was between him and Leimer, and I just fancy a bit of Goretzka, especially when I hear Tuchel saying he's going to go box to box this weekend. So got 9 teams I'm quite excited about, Harry, and I reckon out of the 9 of them, I would really like almost every one of them, except for the 220, actually, the rare. I was quite excited maybe about 6 of them. I think, do you know what? I'm actually really happy I've got that team put together. And I don't know if there's a wee bit of cap satisfaction when you see like my 240 is like bang on 240, my 220 is like bang on. And it's not by I'm doing it on purpose, but it's just like my L15s and trying to piece the puzzle together.
It's good feeling, isn't it, when you get that going?
Why don't I put Rodrigo? I don't think the under 23 team is necessarily better. I don't know if you think there's not, because I think
I'd say it's better in its division in that sense because like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just going to be, you're missing out on like a massive Liverpool sort of thing to worry about as far as, their game week. I know you've got a bit of City there, but like, no sort of Haaland, Alvarez, whatever. Like, I don't know. I'd say the under 23 rare better, but it would be better if Rodrigo was in there because Rodrigo probably has the best matchup out of all your forwards, I would say. Second to Savio, if that makes sense. I mean, if you're talking about the strongest under 23, I think it's Savio and Rodrigo. I would go. Like, I'd put them both together. I would actually put Kubo in and make, in that champ team to make it quote unquote weaker. That doesn't necessarily mean the Kubo's not going to score well. I just mean, Rodrigo just has a better fixture at home, right?
I just don't think Rodrigo gets the 90 minute spot that would make him that much better than these guys we're talking about.
He doesn't need it though. Like he just scored. Do you know what I mean?
I
He
think
just
he
don't
does,
need
but
it.
I think he does. Like, if
doesn't.
what if we get subbed
Why?
off after 60 minutes because Vinny's injured? He was maybe a wee bit injured for this game as well. So
Nah,
if they get 2-0 up and he comes off with one decisive, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I buy that, to be honest. I think Rodrigo's your highest scoring forward out of those we've just mentioned.
It could be very well, but I'm just saying that's first thing I think is like I think to get the score that would make that clear is that he plays 90 minutes and gets 2 or 3 decisives. You
can get that though in literally half a game, like literally.
Fair, but
well, he has. I mean, he's on actual flames right now. Like the goals he's scored, like he's just himself. You know what I'm saying?
But would we rather win? Then the question is, would we rather win under 23 or champion? Because I think if I'm going to put Rodrigo in there to make it stronger, then I would also probably put Guardiola in there to make it stronger. And then I'm making this team quite significantly different,
You are, but I think you just up against it with Oblak and goals, if I'm being completely honest. Like, they're playing Barca at the end of the day. Like, that's the only hamstring where, like, Trubin has obviously a better chance to keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? That's my only pushback. Like you said, I didn't even think of that. The Guardiola one's interesting. Like, that is the best under 23 team you can put. Simple as. Like, there's no question about that for me. It's as simple as that. All at home, bar Trubin. Like, you would probably rather win champ, wouldn't you? I don't know. Like, just on like if you had the choice. But I just think it's less realistic to win champ, isn't it? If we're being completely honest.
Yeah, the goalkeeper. But as soon as you said that, it was a wee penny drop for me. It's like, Oblak is.
That's the only one for me.
He is going to like I said. The best situation for him is like they concede less than 3 and he gets 58 or something like that. But Trubin could just get 60 and I've got 12% on him, so it's closer to 70 than anything. All of a sudden. So yeah, that makes sense to me. That kind of clears that up, I suppose. So yeah, cool. I'm quite glad I made that last minute change, Harry. In chat, thanks for all the contributions there. I love that. Because sometimes I talk myself into being too conservative sometimes with some decisions, and other times I talk myself into some crazy shit that's right on the other end of the scale, like playing Stuani, whatever, Santi last week and whatever, So nice to have that little bit of balance out. So I think this is like it's probably the most podium capable team I've got now. All of a sudden.
I would say so by a mile, 100%. You've got, arguably the best 4 outfielders you could have. Realistically, I know Guardiola's hit and miss. If we're being honest, like last week he was really good, or midweek or whatever it was. Like, he's not like a walk-in 70 right now, but he's capable of 100 very easily, isn't he? So, but the rest of the boys, Jesus, Wirtz, Rodrigo, Savio. I mean, matchup-wise, it doesn't really get much better. I know it's Dortmund, but there's goals in that game for Wirtz, 100%.
Yeah. I'll go along with that too. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm quite buzzing for the game week as well. I think if we have any more requests for lineups, guys, we'll go and look at them. I think we got to them all that came in. But if there is any other teams, oh no, here's one here, Bruges. I thought I seen 1 or 2 we didn't quite get to. And then we'll do all the giveaway stuff after the deadline. We've hit the like targets, but it's 76, guys. We could get to 88. I believe in us. We could do it. I know we could. If we get to 88, guys. That's when we know we're in for a good game week. When we have those streams where we get to the 88 likes. Because I think last week we got to 67, but it was a wee bit of a, come on, guys, we need to get there before the deadline. But if we get to 88, I think that's maybe the difference in the game weeks is the amount of likes the stream gets. So, guys, you think I'm joking, but Sorare, like, they own and control the internet. I'm not just messing around with here. So, anyway, in Belgium, we have Brugge. At home at Liège, this is a tidy game on paper. This will be feisty. There's the team for anyone that wants it. Tejan Buchanan's 50%. Fadoy. Nusa's 50% as well. Lord Hands up there. Hayo Kawabe. Ronnie Dyla against his former team. Is Ronnie Dyla still the Bruges manager or has he been sacked? I'm not sure. I remember.
I don't know. I think he is, isn't he? I'm not sure.
Marlon Fossey feels like a name I know. Is he like a wee wonder kid that's been hyped or something? Or is he just a card that maybe people have? That Marlon Fossey is in this team.
Was he playing in the championship at some point? I swear he was, but maybe I'm...
Is it maybe something like that? Off. Zeno Van Houston. Isaac Hayden. Remember Isaac Hayden? I won his super rare as like a bottom ass tier 3 back when it was only 3 tiers.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I could keep him one day and play in the championship. Didn't keep him, obviously, but
He's
That's
in
funny. He's over
Belgium.
here. Over
Yeah.
Isaac Price, who's been a bit of an under-23 guy we've been watching out for in midfield. So he's taken his spot. Aidan O'Neill. That's another UK name. So they've got they're doing a bit of shopping in their engine room in the UK,
Maybe
aren't
like
they?
America. The Belgium America thing is a bit. Yeah, I don't know, but it feels.
Hayo Kawabe as well. He's an old goat. He was one of my first rewards. I loved him in Japan. Went to Switzerland, wasn't great, and now he's in the Japan team now after playing for Liège. So he's an Sorare hero knocking around. Genk and Ghent we had on already. LAFC from Daniel. Let's have a wee look at that. MLS playoffs. We've not even touched them, Harry boy. Is there anything interesting? We'll put LA on the screen. They're at home at the Dynamo. There's only 2 playoffs. We'll look at them both. I would call this a full-strength LA team. Chiellini's in there for his medal. He's hunting for that. Vela's in town. Buanga, Eli, Timmy Tillman. Strong LA team. I think Houston's been my surprise team of the season, really. I'm so surprised how strong they've been, but they have been undeniably strong. So, yeah, should be a good one for the neutral.
100%. Big Hector Herrera army.
That's it.
Who do you think will win the MLS Cup? Rico says. Ooh, it's a tough one,
I think Cincinnati were my take early season. They were just too good. And I think out of the teams remaining, Lucho Acosta's probably the best individual. So... for me, anyway, yeah, I would. This is a tough game, but again, by Columbus, that's if you can beat Columbus, you win. I think this is kind of the final. Because I don't think it'll be Houston, but I think Cincinnati, Columbus look really good as well. I think it'll be one of these 2.
Yeah, Columbus are dangerous, man. They've got such good firepower, don't they, up front? But Cincy are good. They're very good defensively. I do think though, there's no Matt Miazga for Cincinnati. I think he's out. It was like a disciplinary thing. He's out for like the rest of the season or playoffs. He was a big part, obviously, of that defense. So, does that change things? Does that make Cincy weaker? Yes. I don't know if that really changes things too much, but there's definitely something to be said about it.
Fair. And Charlie's catching this here big time. I'm going to the Newcastle game and I've not even looked at it yet. So it's a wee bit gutting there's no commons to play with and have some fun, but I'll probably do some rival stuff when I'm there, which will be good fun. But Newcastle's predicted 11 has been the same for the last 2 matches. I don't think they've got much room for manoeuvre. It's going to be the same team that started against PSG. They didn't make any subs against PSG, which makes me think that they're going to make subs in this game. But even when they did use the bench against Chelsea, the bench is so weak, Eddie Howe only started using it from the 80th minute because it was like he absolutely had to. So that means a couple of things. I think some of the key players here will continue to get a lot of minutes. And subsequently, then you can expect much better AA outputs. Now, I think Newcastle are going to win this game. I think it's going to be fireworks is my expectations for a match like this. Particularly when you see the state of Man United defensively and in goals. I just think they've been so good in attack. Newcastle, despite the injuries, despite who they've had to reshuffle around, and there's a week there they're back to playing Joe Linton in attack and stuff like that. So I just think they've been, hugely impressive. In the last video I did about Newcastle, I said they're showing champion mentality, because what they're grinding through now is champion level grind. Can they keep it up? Who knows? When will they do something like win a title? Who knows? But what they're doing now shows that, some of these guys like Miley, Isak, Gordon, Almiron, all of them really, Livermento, Pope, they've got the bit between the teeth right now. And Man United are like the opposite end of that scale right now. Don't have any bits between their teeth. I think they don't even have teeth at this point. Is what we're thinking.
Very gummy right now, United, aren't they?
So yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I fancy Newcastle here. To be fair, big time. Like you said, they just feel like, they just are more of a team right now than United are. It still feels like the Bruno show, the Garnacho show. Like it's just happening in drips and drabs, isn't it? With United right now, it doesn't feel like a collective. Okay, sure, back in from injury, whatever. There's definitely improvements. Kobe Mino's looked good since he's come into the side. Great sort of prospect there. Who knows? But I can't see Newcastle giving up any points here. I really don't, especially at home.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I put a wee tweet out earlier this week because Man United were getting... Timo Werner's on the transfer market and he's been getting linked to a bunch of Premier League teams, and I put a wee tweet out saying Timo Werner's too good for Man United, and Haver wasn't too chuffed with me for it, to say the least. But when you look at this team, man, he would be a huge upgrade on them, on what they've got there. I don't care what you think about Werner from his time at Chelsea, but if you're playing him as that wide forward to be Werner, not to do what Chelsea tried to do with him, which was make him a striker. If you buy Werner to play him as Werner, like, he is much better at this job than Rashford. I've not seen enough of Garnacho to make a statement like this, but Rashford clearly is better at this job than him. Huge upgrade.
I mean, yeah, the problem is you're never going to displace Mr. Manchester. You is the issue. I don't rate Rashford, but like, that's just not going to happen, is it? Unfortunately. But what I was going to say on the topic of transfers relating to one of your guys is I heard there was a little rumor on Twitter about I think it was Columbus Crew being in the market for like a Japanese international or something. And people were sort of sniffing around, or someone in the MLS. I'm pretty sure it was Columbus Crew. If someone can correct me, please do in the chat. But Kyogo was on that sort of shortlist. It was like it was Kyogo and somebody else, and I was just a bit like, okay, I can't remember who the other Japanese player was, but it was definitely like an MLS move. It was a weird one, like, you know, a DP, obviously go over as a DP or whatever. I don't know how concrete it was, but it was somebody and Kyogo. I'm pretty sure it was Columbus Crew, which it just caught me out of nowhere in that sense, as far as, you know, that as a rumor. I don't know, maybe Giacomakis went out, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's that sort of link in a weird way. Obviously, that was at Atlanta, but I don't know. That was it, Asano, and it was Seattle. Thank you, Germ. The one in Germ. Asano.
Seattle would be a big move. Seattle's West Coast as well, which isn't a long flight back to Japan, you know, as far as flights to Japan go, you know. So, interesting, because he has been off the boil. We are needing to make a lot of changes and restructure the team. If Ange doesn't take him at Tottenham, he is like 28. It's hard to imagine who else pays some money for him. You could probably get an MLS club to pay you 10 to 15 mil for somebody like Kyogo. He has just signed a huge deal, but with us, a 4-year contract, I beg your pardon, not too long ago. Interesting. There's no smoke without fire.
I don't think he's... I can't see him be... I'll be honest. I don't think he's Premier League level. I've got to be honest. I know you've seen the good of him. You've seen the bad, but like, from what I've seen, I don't know if he's Prem level personally. I just don't know what he's... You know what I'm saying? I know it's easy to say that.
I think Ange will know. I think, because, you know...
Yeah, well, that'll give you the telltale. If Ange signs him at Tottenham, but they're not going to have Son... Like, where's he going to play? Do you know what I mean? That's the issue.
Yeah, I know you could play him
on the wing. You could. But is he better than Kulusevski? No, if we're being honest. Is he better than Brendan Johnson? He's not a £40 million player. I'm sorry, he's just not. I know he's 5 years older, but like, just not. I don't know. Maybe as a second string forward, yeah. It's a payday. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. But Jerome says Seattle are scouting other Japanese players with international experience. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. 15 mil would be a lot, wouldn't it? Like David says there, for like Seattle to spend on, you know, anything over 10 feels excessive for like an MLS club, I'd say.
Seattle, but are like the Man. This is why I always say people that are new to MLS, but Seattle are like the Man United. You know, they win everything.
Historic.
They don't really. I know they spend a lot on wages and stuff like that. Like they've had Rusnak is like on the bench and he's been well paid for ages. I know they look after their club in that sense, but they're not a big DP outfit. You know. So they have money, you know, like they have allocation out their arse as far as I'm concerned. If they wanted to do a deal like this, I think Seattle would be capable of doing a deal like this if they wanted to, but they don't do deals like this normally, you know. Rui Diaz and Ladero are big exceptions, but they're not like coming from Europe. You're scooping them out of South America, you know.
They scoop Rusnak out of obviously Salt Lake. Like, you know, they're more of an internal scooper, it feels like, you know, of late in that sense.
Totally.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with that if Kyogo does make a move of some sort. But yeah, interesting times. 3 minutes to the deadline.
3 minutes to the deadline, guys. Let us know any more requests for teams if you're scrambling at the last minute. We had to look at both the MLS playoffs there. We went to Man United Newcastle because I'm giving away free tickets, guys, in a couple of minutes. One person on Instagram will win 2. One person who's jumped onto the YouTube video will win a ticket as well. And we've hit the like goal. We're at 82. Can we get to 88, guys? We've only got 3 minutes to the deadline. There's got to be 6 more likes in here. Come on, guys.
Come on, lads. Come on, please.
There's got to be 6 more. We're almost at the deadline.
We're begging you.
We've got to make it, guys. We've got to make it because we all need the luck. We need the DNPs to go away. We need the big scores to come in. And yeah, we just need it to happen that way. That's just the way it is. So come on, guys. Hey, Quinny, do you think Yang plays for Celtic? I think he will, mate. He's definitely going to feature. I'd say he's very likely to start. But it's not guaranteed. That's the only reason I'm phrasing it that way. So yeah, that's the other one's definitely food for thought. I can see, like, I really wouldn't rule it out, by the way, because even though, because Rodgers will just like buy his own guys and stuff like that. Interesting. I really don't believe there's no smoke without fire, particularly with MLS deals, because MLS deals are always, with the exception of like a Messi or a Ibrahimovic or whatever, they're very by the book transfers. You will get rumors about MLS moves, or if a guy's on the market, MLS clubs will be linked to him because, you know what it's like when you follow MLS clubs. They tell everyone everything. They tell you who's at training. They tell you who's getting a contract extension. They tell you when people get released. They tell you everything. So if they're looking at targets,
controls it all, don't they? In that sense, like
somebody will see the target list and it will get spread around. It will be like, I think it will. It's a no smoke without fire situation. If Celtic and Kyogo are there, it came from something. People don't pull that shit out their arse in America typically, So I do find that interesting.
No, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I guess they, as Seattle, you wouldn't mind Kyogo not scoring a few goals for a bit. It probably drops his price a little bit, doesn't it? In a weird way. I know Celtic can still demand X, Y, and Z, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
maybe get
bargaining power.
Get him for 12 rather than 14.
Yeah, a little discount, a little 10%.
Yeah,
why not?
I can dig it. So again, Giakoumakis has made the transition very well. I think Kyogo would back himself to do the same. I don't want to sell him. I want to keep him, but again, I'm no smoke without fire. He's not scoring under Rodgers. We need to reconstruct a little bit. You could see that being something that would happen. 86 guys. We're kind of at the deadline, but I'm not going to tell you that. 2 more likes, guys. Come on, before the deadline. Can we get 2 more likes in? Come on. We're at bang on 3 o'clock.
Come on, lads. Come on.
Just as we end the show. We're locked and loaded for the game week, guys. I wish you all the best of luck. 87. 1 more, guys. Come on. One of you can get your phone out of pocket. And we're in lock, guys. So we've got a giveaway to do. Let me go and get that set up real quickly. So I need to go and find the post. Now, I had 1 ticket to give away at first, and then we ended up with more. So I gave away 2 tickets on Instagram. So whoever wins this will have 2 tickets. They can take themselves, they can take someone else. All good fun. Let me go and find the post so that I can do the thingy. Right. There we go. Sorted. Harry Boy, did you enter it?
I'll be honest, I didn't. I didn't think I was eligible, I guess, but I couldn't go even if I entered. So like I'm in a weird situation in the sense that like I probably should have entered just for your sake in that sense, but like
thanks, mate. No, I was just asking. A lot of people entered that were like people like, if you know what I mean. I think Hendo entered it and a few other people, that are like or whatever. So good crack, all the same. But this was the post that we put out second time around with 2 tickets for the winner. At Quinny 3001 with an underscore at the end. Can you believe there was already a Quinny 3001 there? But anyway, we've got the link. We're going to put it in multi-post, premium, select Instagram post. Log it. Oh, so okay. Right, I need to set this page up. Oh, yeah. I think we had this little delay last time we were doing the giveaway. It's just continue. And just allowing us to. There we go. Instagram comment picker. There we go. Oh, this is linked to. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh wow, fantastic! So actually, I've not got the right page on screen. You can't see this, but it actually just sees all my posts here now, and you can just click what one you want. That's fantastic. Instagram giveaway settings, add comment replies. Don't you worry about this stuff. 1 winner, and we had 12 seconds last time. I quite enjoyed that for the random thing. Okay, cool. Get comments. So. Guys, we had 16 entries. Very low, I would say. But hopefully all of them can actually take the prize. That's the real name of the game here. Hopefully some real fans are getting some tickets as well. Please do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff, guys. And one person... Well, we've got the comments here now. We just need to do... Start or something. Where the hell is it? Thanks for logging in. And giveaway settings. Oh, Jesus, I need to change some settings, guys. Give us a second. Change or renew permissions. Okay. Please note your Instagram post first. Oh, Jesus. This is... Why does it never easy? Why do they ever just want us to make it nice and easy to give some stuff away to people randomly, like they're meant to? No, this doesn't seem to be working. It feels like it wants me to log in with Facebook. Done it.
Luke says
Continue.
he's gutted I don't accept ETH. How don't I accept ETH? What have I done? I know what I've done.
90 likes. Love you guys. Heroes.
Luke, I didn't mean to not accept ETH. Sorry. Like, I guess I just turned my... Like, I thought I was just not showing my balance, but I guess that means you don't accept ETH. So that's my bad. Sorry, mate.
There we go. Found the button. Sorry, I just had to scroll down. I thought it was over here the button is, but the button's actually down here. Really sorry, guys. But anyway, we're locked and loaded. We've got the 12-second roll. We've got the winner. You need to be following, like the post, all that good stuff like we asked for. Sharing your story, all that good stuff, you know. Only a couple. This is going to run for 12 seconds, so you should definitely see your name there if you've got involved. And yeah, we're giving away 2 tickets, so one person can take them in a pal. You see Newcastle at home at Man United, and the winner we have is 23_ McDonald. Congratulations. And it looks like he's going to be taking his pal with him. Well done, mate. Round of applause. I'll load up the YouTube one first of all. I was going to send you a wee message and just say GG's.
Big congrats. Yeah, that's huge.
I started following you. So you've got... Okay, so account is private. Okay, so we need to wait for that. And I'll congratulate you when I see you. Okay, cool. Now we need to go and get the YouTube video. We're going to give away 1 ticket to someone that supported the YouTube content. We did a video after the Premier League didn't change the rules. So Newcastle can still loan somebody from Saudi Arabia if they want or need to in the January transfer window. And where is that video? There it is there. Get the shareable link. And then we're going to share this tab. And there we go. Excellent. So we'll put the YouTube video in. Thanks again to everyone that is supporting the content and getting involved in the giveaways. We'll do a nice wee 12-second timer again. Solve the puzzle. And then let's get some comments. 19 comments. Love it, guys. I hope you are all ready and willing and able. The worst thing about these giveaways is when someone wins and they can't take it. So the entries are low, but I hope that's because they're all genuinely capable to redeem it. So there's nothing worse than that not happening. So let's see who's going to win 1 ticket for themselves to Newcastle versus Man United tomorrow. Thanks for supporting the YouTube content once again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and retweet. And we're on 90 likes today, guys. Thanks very much. And it is Adam Blower. Fist bump, my man. Congratulations. Adam might even be here with us live. If you are Adam, feel free to let us know. Jay Riva, yes, buzzing. You need to accept my... You need to let me DM you if that's you. Buzzing, mate. 2 tickets. Adam's here as well. Get in, Adam. Brilliant. Good to see it, mate. And this was on YouTube. So, Adam, since I can see you're the same YouTube account, I need you to tell me like your Twitter handle or I don't know. Yeah, I need that Twitter or an Instagram handle or something so I can contact you directly. So I need to see from this. Adam, you're here. Well in. Let me know how to contact you once we come off this. Already done it, Jay Riva. Fist bump. 2 tickets coming your way. Buzzing about that. And Adam, just let me know how I can contact you. And that'll be us. Now, no, that won't be us. We have a limited Ramsdale to give away. We had the like goal. There's only a few of you here. So this is probably, guys, this is the best giveaway because we had lots of people here who are now away enjoying their Sorare game week after the deadline. They're away enjoying their lives. They've missed the Ramsdale opportunity. Harry, do you have a question? I'll ask you first.
I will. Give me a cheeky second or so, and I might be able to cook something up for you.
I was going to say, I'm not being cheeky, but I've got a good one. So is your one good?
That's fine. No, you're fine. You go with yours, 100%.
Right, okay. Now, I want a player's surname, right? That's all I want is a player's surname. Correct spelling, no fancy inflections or anything. I don't care about any of that.
Capital letters, funny. None of that. Okay.
No. Just the right normal spelling of the name. I said no fancy E's and A's that are stuck together or any of that stuff or whatever. Okay. And the first answer that meets that criteria, that's right, that comes in here, we'll give away the Ramsdale to you today as well. I'm looking out for Adam, just Adam Blower. I need you to tell me where I'm going to contact you when we're done here, okay? Now, guys, are you ready? I was wildly surprised at the final score between Norderslund and Fenerbahce. It finished up to be 6-1. One man walked off the bench to bag himself a hat-trick. What is his surname?
Ooh. One man.
By the way, Weasel Mount tried to be cheeky and guess before the question came out, and he wasn't. He was barking up the right tree.
I don't mind that as a shout.
He knows the psychology. Oh, by the way, there's some wrong spellings coming in. People are smashing keyboards.
Oh, no.
The all correct is killing people. I can see it. Let's see it rain in, guys. Let's see it rain in. We're seeing some autocorrect has killed some people here. It was the boy Benjamin Nygren. So let's see some of the good ones that almost made it. Okay, we've got the right answer. But we had this from Ian. Love to see a bit of Nyanja. That was nice. Unfortunately, I think Zil thought he was going to be in rapid here, but he just dropped Wygren. Unlucky me. I don't know what this was from Chris, but it was it was nowhere close. This is a good autocorrect here from Skoskur Ninja. And this is a good one here, Neugren. Chris L came back in with Nergen. So we had some good ones. But the first correct answer we had, it was actually the first entry. It was Luke Wilson. Congratulations, Luke. Let us know your Sorare club and we'll get that Ramsdale shipped over to you, buddy. Congratulations. Great competition on that one, guys. And RIP autocorrect for some of yous, unfortunately. But yeah, Adam, you're here, mate. Tell me how I'm going to contact you. I really need to hear from you before I go anywhere. Adam Blower. Actually, I can do it on YouTube and stuff anyway, but you're here. So just going to tell me some easy way of contacting you so I can do that on Twitter, Instagram, anywhere or everywhere. Adam. And yeah, well so done, Harry boy, I'm going to Newcastle, right? I'm planning on, well, I wasn't planning on, right? We did a watch along. Was it Monday night? We did a wee bit of Rivals watch along. We did a wee beta test thing.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been, yeah.
I don't know if Fed has seen it or if he knows about it, but Fed was, when I was doing the Sorare TV show with him, he said we should watch Leverkusen Dortmund. I think that's Sunday. He's like, we should do some Rivals, have some fun. And I thought that's a great idea. And I was like, I wonder if Adam Blower sent me a Twitter DM. Love it, mate. So anyway, if you gave me a wee idea, if I'd get enough of my beauty sleep after Newcastle, Wilson Luke is the name for the Ramsdale win. Congratulations, mate. I'm just sending it over to you now. So yeah, I might be doing another wee bit of do a wee bit of that over the weekend if you're up for it. I think Fed is.
Yeah, what time's that game?
Let's have a wee peek. Let's maybe organise this now with the good people that are here with us live. Wilson, look, I'm just sending you your Ramsdale. Congratulations again, mate. Did you put in my 6 digits? Yeah, 2 seconds. And then we'll have a look at what's going on Sunday. I've got some DMs and stuff. Laird sent me a photo before lock. I don't know if that's... Oh, it's a cool team. Okay, I'll tell you about this in a second. GG's Laird. Let's see it. I need to get this authenticator code in, but so I can send a prize away. 2 seconds.
I'll have a look at just on my phone now as far as Leverkusen. I'm guessing it's Sunday, isn't it? So it could be any time, actually.
I think it's a 2-3 o'clock thing. So I'll put it on screen for us now. So we want to see what other Sorare games we could maybe rivals up with, you know.
4:30 it is, to be fair.
Okay, cool. So 4:30. So we've got Bruges Liège at 5:30. So that will start as that winds down. We'll star that. What else do we have going on about that time? We have... we've got Brøndby. Don't think anyone will care about that. Prem. We have... Man City Tottenham at 4:30.
At the same time.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, isn't it? A lot of 2 o'clock Premier League stuff. That would be good for the watch along, I think, if we were doing it, but we're doing the real games. Lille at 4 o'clock also.
Yeah.
Italy, 5 o'clock Roma. Nah, that sounds boring. Japan, wrong time zone. Utrecht Alkmaar. I'll start it.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay.
Rivals will be fun. And Rangers, Hibs, Aberdeen. There's a wee bit of Scotland. Depends on your poison. Maybe Hibs, Aberdeen would be a bit of banter. Rangers will definitely be banter. And in Spain, yeah, maybe nothing that exciting. But there's a couple. There's some stuff here. Turkey.
Feyenoord PSV, Jim says. What time was that? That's the game, isn't it? In
It's
Holland.
11:15 in the morning for us.
Okay.
So it doesn't line up with those fixtures. So if I then hit on favourites, we should have a wee list. There we go. So we could have a nice wee trifecta. I guess we could just go champion. And then as the Lille game winds down, just have a wee look at Bruges, maybe have a wee bit of banter with it. The Scottish games are at 3, so we'll kind of see the tail end of them, maybe for a wee bit of banter as well. But yeah, I think we could probably do that, eh? Leo playing Metz, City, Spurs, Leverkusen, Dortmund. Get the show started maybe about 3:30ish or something. I don't know. Work in progress, guys. We'd love to do it. We'd love to see it. I'm up for it. We'll see what happens. But yeah, there's plans in the making. I know a lot of people do watch and listen to this that also make content. If you make content and you want to come and do some rival stuff on the channel, like the door's open. Just let me know you're available. I'll send you the invite link and get on. Ideally, whenever we do rival stuff on the channel, there's like 6 of us here. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. So anyone that's watching these games anyway, when you're in your house doing some Sorare stuff, let's try and make it an occasion. Let's try and make it something we get together for. The only flying ointment for me is I'm at an 8 o'clock fixture Saturday night in Newcastle and have to drive home and blah blah blah. So I might be a bit scunnered. I might need some other people to talk. So be one of those ones for sure. But I'm up for it. Congratulations again to all the ticket winners for Newcastle. Thanks again to everyone that entered to support the content everywhere, guys. Honestly, me and Harry Boy are living the dream here, doing this nonsense every week. So thanks very much for the support. Good luck to everyone this game week. Wish me luck for St James's Park. We're expecting some fireworks and. Good luck to everyone on the leaderboards this week. Stay out of trouble. Harry Boy.
All the best, lads. Catch you next week. Or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow, yeah.